Let's start that over again.
By the power of Grayskull.
One more time.
By the power of Grayskull. By the power.
I lied. One more time.
By the power of Grayskull.
Okay, one more time for all my 80 kids, my 80s generation kids.
By the power of Grayskull. By the.
I don't know. I gotta disconnect my speaker that I was listening to music for. So, okay, last time for the 80s kids.
By the power of Grayskull.
And those of you who don't understand of what I want us and the next 2, 3 generations to be, I want you to go what? Go beyond plus ultra.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond plus ultra!
One more time. And believe it or not, these shows are almost 40 years apart, and it still gives you the same feeling.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond plus ultra!
One more time if you don't understand the masculinity and what he was saying.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond plus ultra!
Now, for those of you who don't understand being the king or the lord of the Thundercats,
Thundercats!
you know me because I'm one of those first generation 88 kids. Let me know who's in the comment section.
Thundercats!
And in case of you guys don't understand, we like all our macho shows and Bria Miles. Thank you, Artisan MC, and thank you, Red Pill Sleeper Cell, for the intro and the outro. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome all. I wasn't going to do a live stream, but sometimes the impromptu are the greatest and the latest. I wish that YouTube weren't such dicks because I'd have let y'all listen to the music that I was listening to that gets me a little emotional. Mm. I'm going to need the help of the maestro to play some angels. Some feel that you're feeling out. Let you feeling out. Feel that you're feeling out. Well, everybody loves that song when you have an angel speak about a what? An angel. Mm. Who we got in the building tonight? We got all the. Whoo! We got the snowman that was Brian Snow. Whoo! We got Galvin in the building. We got who else? Namer in the building. We got two Trib 2211. Whoo! Oh man, we got Shy Guy, Fly Guy. Whoo! We got LAPD SWAT. Whoo! Mm. Come on, we got other people in here. We ain't got just that crew. Come on, put your name in the chat. We ain't gonna bite unless you want us to. Oh, trust me, this is open panel, open thought. Some of my best panels are the ones that I thought of, and some of them are the ones that we shoot at the hip. Mm. See, you gotta understand. Oh, man, I got some XO brandy, a nice LFD cigar, and I'm hanging with my what? Niggas. We passing around drinking out the bottle tonight, baby. Oh, I don't want y'all to be, I don't want no one to be shy when you dealing with this super type of guy. Whew. See, there's a few things this week I have to talk about. See, one of the most incredible and immaculate things we can speak of are hard times. We got Rain Fine Designs. What's up, bro? We got all the times. Everybody put your favorite drink. I don't care if it's soda, wine, cognac. I don't care if you feel it with some pina colada. I don't care if it's vodka. I don't care if it's water, or as we say in Baltimore, water. I don't care if it's some type of non-alcoholic drink, even though it's past midnight, so the grown folks are out and about. I want everybody to come up in this joint. See, one of the heaviest things that people can talk about is that hard times may come, but hard men and women last. Okay. Iori's in the building. See, I don't care about they getting rid of DEI when it was only I and ME when it came to me and mines, okay? But boiling, shout out to the Baltimore Blockbuster, don't you know? The Baltimore Blockbuster, the Baltimore Butcher, the main event of the evening, baby. Y'all know? And if you don't, you will. See, BGS said he's a lot nicer than the saint known as Kevin Samuels. Hell, People could call me BGS's anger. I get to say shit the master teacher probably doesn't want to say and wants to say, but I'm gonna say it. See, I am a real Papa Bappa, the actual crime stopper. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it in. A lot of people out in the world are scared of DEI and ICE. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Ice, ice, baby. Listen, I'm gonna say this. And many Hispanic immigrants who came over here and did the long way, either joining the military or went through customs and citizenship classes, will say it. I don't feel sorry for people who illegally came to get benefits that we had to fucking fight for. Understand? Oh, I know you understand your man. Now, if I went to someone's country, for example, if I try to go to Japan and I had a record, I wouldn't even be allowed in the country. Mm. Don't forget to hit that Cash App if you feel like donating to the chat. And if you have any questions, hit the Cash App and you go right in front of the line if you have questions. Because this is a Q&A and sometimes we show a little bit of T&A. If you know what I mean, and I know you do. See, did anybody give a fuck about the black American when we had three strikes and you're out? Did anybody give a damn about the black American when crack was dumped on our community? So how does it look for me to feel sorry for everybody else who got a benefit over us and we built this motherfucker? You know that old song, "We built this city." Not one person, not even the Caucasian, not the Mexican, not the Asian, not the Arab can say that about this country. We built it from mud. We built it from blood. Okay? Don't you feel sorry about families being torn apart? Did y'all give a fuck about our families being torn apart when your wife or your daughter or your son was sold to another plantation? See, we act like slavery happened 5,000 years ago. Hmm. I'm going to give you a little history moment, right? Because we all about educating. We all about educating. Did you know the first woman who was elected to the Senate was the last person to own slaves? Did you know that? The first woman elected to the Senate was the last person to own slaves. Mm. So dismiss me with your disingenuous bullshit. Well, Charger thought that you gotta feel sorry. I don't feel sorry for a goddamn body because when I'm a down and out, when I was down and out, when you're down and out, those individuals feel sorry for you. Oh, they don't want to hide it. But you heard that Latino guy say, "We're lighting up an LFD Maduro." We're lighting up the LFDs. Everybody put your favorite drink in the chat and put a woo next to it. We lighting them up tonight. You hear that sound, folks? That's a raging fire. Nobody cares. Well, Black Americans are DEI hires. Only 3.8% of black people benefited from DEI, and I'm pretty sure the vast majority of those people were not black men. I want everybody to hear this again. Make sure the motherfuckers rotate like you do a burning of a great fine cigar. Mm. When I was on the verge of homelessness as a fucking war vet, did anybody give a fuck? It took multiple organizations for veterans to help me out. And I put not only taxes, but I put blood, sweat, and tears in this country. I'm so foundational that if you look underneath the goddamn firmament, you'll see a bunch of slaves still holding this some bitch up. And you're right. Snowman says, as often said, can a black man ever have a bad day? Chapter One of the chapters in the diary of a mad snowman. Why do you think I'm so pro veteran? Not only because I'm one, it's because guess what? How many of those black veterans were sent to the worst places of a war, and you threw them to the pack of the wolves, and they came back leading that motherfucker? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Give me a woo. Why should I feel sorry for individuals that would never feel sorry for me? If there were no black Americans, FDA, ADOS, black Americans, would any other immigrant in this country be allowed to come here? The hell's no. Contrary to popular belief, the president known as Donald Trump did not downgrade or speak against Black History Month, as actually, if you look at it, old school, what's up? Woo! Guess what happened? Donald Trump actually, the first president to actually officially confirm in presidential doctrine Black History Month and said that Black history is goddamn American history. Can y'all put that in the chat, please? Black history is authentically American history. Well, excuse me, let me use proper English for those who are not culturally understanding the Black vernacular. Black history is authentically American history. See, we got the stretch limousines, we got the Lear jets, we got 100 chicks from 18 to 35 while we stop in profile. I need everybody in the chat to put in there Black history is a authentically or a thoroughly Black history. There is no American history without Black history. There is no American history without Black history. The first goddamn person to actually kill and die for this country was a black man, Copus. So when everybody said that he got rid of DEI, when it was Hegseth and who was SecDef, for those of you who's not in the know what SecDef means, Secretary of Defense, and this sitting United States President Donald Trump said there would be no history without Black history. And they said they got rid of the Tuskegee Airmen. The Tuskegee Airmen were not DEI, they were the elite. Put that in the chat for time immemorial. Eleanor Roosevelt herself requested the Tuskegee Airmen to actually escort her during flights to Europe. There is no Bible, there is no Torah, there is no Quran, there is no Buddha without Black history. The Tuskegee Airmen, the Harlem Hellfighters, the Black veterans of Vietnam, the Gulf War, and even my war of Iraq and the war of Afghanistan. There would be no history without Black servicemen and women. Woo! For those of you who think that, oh, we're so anti-women, in World War II, it was a unit, a battalion of Black women who cleaned up the mess that white men couldn't even fucking do when it came to delivering mail and messages across from Europe all the way back to the US. They did what they couldn't do in 2 years, they did it in 2 months. Woo! But we don't give Black women credit over here, huh? But guess what? Those elite women who worked in the mail office did something that white men couldn't do in 2 to 3 years, and they did it in 3 months or less. You had Black men and Black women who commanded units during the Civil War and won you the war. What did Abraham Lincoln even say? It wasn't us that freed the blacks, it was the blacks that freed us. Whoa! Yeah, I ain't ready for this shit. Yeah, this is not even my official Black History Month post or live stream. Shout out to everybody who made me a content creator. We're not even, oh, the Buffalo Soldiers, LAPD SWAT, the great Buffalo Soldiers, the guys who told Colonel Roosevelt, your future president, oh, I had to have them at gunpoint. No, it was the Buffalo Soldiers that saved your ass, Mr. President. Tell the truth and call the devil a liar. You wonder why WIC is a thing. WIC was actually founded by, oh, the Black Americans who America should uphold. The Black Panther Party started the WIC programs in their communities. Oh, call the devil a liar. Did you know how many of the surviving members? Did you know how many of the surviving members of the Black Panther Party were either veterans of war and or PhDs in education? Y'all ain't ready for that shit. Y'all are not ready for this shit here. Everybody knows this guy, George Washington Carver, right? Did you know George Washington Carver single handedly saved the American public, saved the American country from being bankrupt with all of his inventions? Oh, god damn, y'all ain't ready for this shit. Y'all ain't ready for this. Like, share, subscribe. And if you feel inclined, donate to the Cash App because a motherfucker like me is not getting super chats anytime soon. At least when you Cash App, your money and your funds are going directly to the content creator who speak to you. Or as everybody thinks that Baltimorean said, you. Or as we like to say in Baltimore, the fuck you mean, dummy? Oh, oh. Everybody wants to discredit Dr. MLK, but I would scrutinize heavily the CEA, and the FBI files that are on him. Why would they think of a positive profile of somebody who shed blood, who went down and knew that he was not going to make the age of 40? I'm going to tell you something historically. I lived longer than both Malik El Shabazz, aka the Honorable Malcolm X, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. They both died at 39, and April 1st, God willing, I'll be 43. And if you ever heard the privilege of listening to recorded messages by Dr. Carver, you're right. He was castrated and he had that high pitched voice because he was not allowed to have the testosterone to be a fully physical man. NASA barely wants to tell you those three black women, without their ingenuity and intelligence and prowess, when it came to aerodynamics, you wouldn't have had a black man on the moon. Excuse me, a man, period, on the moon. If it wasn't for some of those black men in athletics, you would even known there were black people who were so intelligent, so athletic that can run miles, can run a sub 4 minute mile. But what did Kenya, Ethiopia, and the Sudan prove every year? And not only every Olympics. See, the problem is, folks, when there's an even playing ground, nobody else can compete. Oh, let's not go into Haiti of how they kicked the French ass against one of the greatest war generals, Napoleon, one of his biggest, if not his first major defeat. Give me a woo if you feeling what the fuck I'm saying. Mm, mm. You gotta excuse me while I talk about my people greatness. God damn it, Namer, give me a goddamn woo. They won't tell you the stories how black people said, I won every war for you. Let me go to Ethiopia and Eritrea to fight for my people. They won't tell you the story of how Ethiopia, the only country in Africa that withstand colonization twice. The first time was Menelik II, who was named after the first emperor of Ethiopia, Menelik I, the supposed and alleged and probably very true son of Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. And then another one when Haley Cilicia said, if you don't get rid of them, whatever our problem is going to become your problem. And they allowed black soldiers to come over there to kick the shit out of them. Shout out to the Axum Empire. I may not have a PhD. I may not even have a bachelor's. Hell, I don't even have an associate's. But I know my goddamn history. Oh. Let's not talk about the Harlem Hellfighters of World War One, who were so advanced in intellectual prowess when they used German tanks and couldn't speak a lick of German, but quickly figured out how to use their weaponry against them. Mm, 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 mm. Can the church say amen? Or can we say what it really meant? Amen raw. I ain't preaching, but I'm giving you a thought. Mm. I ain't preaching, but I'm giving you a thought. It ain't a sermon, but it's a thought. See, America, if you leave it being, they said we took slavery on the chin. But what was that brother's name who led slave revolts all through the country? What was his name, folks? What was his name when he was made a preacher and they only gave him half of a Bible to teach subservience to blacks? You goddamn right, is Nat Turner. Since we're going to talk about black history, since we're going to talk about the victories of black people, you know what's funny? Whether if you like Barack or not, it took a black man to actually settle the debts of the bankers who otherwise the world wanted their fucking necks in a gallows or the guillotine. What about Benjamin O? How many black people still spit on the ever honorable name of the first black chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the most powerful military officer in the planet? What was he called, folks? What was his name, folks? You goddamn right, it's Golden Powell. How many black men were not given awards in all the wars or not given the proper awards and salute for valor and heroism? Eli Whitney pretty much single handedly changed the economic status of America overnight with the cotton gin. Look at how black men changed the economic status of the world with refrigerated trucks. America and other countries around the world would have starved to death without that invention. But y'all don't hear me though. Oh yeah, black men with the Medal of Honor. Hell, I'm a quartermaster guy first and foremost. What about that black man who swam and saved damn near 20 people and died of exhaustion, saving their lives when a fucking ship was sinking? And it took almost damn near 80 to 100 years to recognize him. Notice I didn't even get to entertainment or music yet. Let me give you some real historical facts from a great Baltimorean. The first official black billionaire came from where? ABM. The first official black millionaire came from where? ABM. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. He came from where? Motherfucking Baltimore. Reginald F. fucking Lewis. That's a black man from Baltimore. Became the first official black billionaire from style and profile. And guess what? He was a fellow cigar smoker like yours truly. YouTube ain't gonna put this out there in the ether. YouTube ain't gonna put this shit out in the ether. I haven't even went to entertainment or sports. Mm. Put that in your piece, God. Shout out to Arnie, first black Medal of Honor winner. A lot of y'all don't even know. Y'all talk so much shit about Baltimore. Your first official billionaire that was black came from this motherfucker. From legitimate works. And I'm supposed to feel sorry for Johnny come latelys in this country when we've been doing great things for the past 500 fucking years before this country was officially a country. Shout out to the Moors who went to Europe and taught them what a bar, soap, and some water would do and how to fucking get rid of your fucking trash, save the fucking race of people. Shout out to the father of monotheism, Emotep, that history tried to deny his righteous claim. I'm not Dr. Umar, but I know my shit if you haven't guessed. Give me a give me a woo if you want me to drop the link already. Give me a woo if you want me to drop the LAPD spot. You got to get your ass up here tonight. Do this to a favor to the colonel. Do this to a favor to the fucking commander of Black Lion security firm. Give me a woo if you want me to drop the link. And we got one woo from the snowman. Why do you motherfuckers shit on Doug Williams? And you know the hell Doug Williams went through, but you allow these fucking commentators, and shout out to fucking Stephen A. Smith Cooner, to shit on a black man like Lamar. Because even Stephen A. Smith can't see a black man in his greatness. Well, what do you think is better, a Super Bowl appearance or multiple MVPs? Multiple MVPs said that I'm the most dominant player ever. A Super Bowl fucking appearance just said you got lucky in the draw. You gonna tell me Flacco is better than him because he got a ring? And no shitting on Flacco, because any Baltimore Ravens fans still love Flacco to this day for what he did for the team. But guess what? Lamar's gonna get us one too. Just you fucking wait. But as always, a black man got to do what a white man got to do in a third of the time. If you don't get your country black asses up here when I drop this link, man, I better get at least 3 donors tonight before I shut this motherfucker down. That's the link. And if y'all can't read the ticker, here's the Cash App. Because a lot of motherfuckers donate to channels that speak vehemently against you. Yes, you hear me on Art New Styles, BGS's, and AB Media. Their channels. And you hear me, I say donate to your interests and donate for people who speaking to you. So I'm not afraid for black men to share the pot. But for some fucking reason, when it comes to my goddamn channel, nobody wants to share, nobody wants to donate, but I'm one of the hardest hitting motherfuckers in this space, even before I had a fucking channel. But it's like we say in the Army, it's all right, it's okay. We're gonna make it anyway. Just like the snowman brought me in live streaming, talking about men's rights 11 years ago. I support his channel, support him monetarily when I can, without even question. So don't challenge my steez. Speaking of the snowman, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we got Isn't
Uh,
it so pretty how all our cartoons from the 80s look so beautiful in 4K?
Isn't it? Isn't it? How are you, Dr. Faulkner?
How you doing? I'll kiss the missus and tell her the chap say hello.
You know, well, she says hello back, champ. Listen, y'all,
And
I'm tired of folks like Charles and myself and many others in this space that drop the knowledge that we do and not get the support for it because we actually know what the bloody fuck we're talking about.
was anything I talked about with Black History fictional?
Hell
Yeah.
no.
Shout out to Wolfbang, Charles. You know who else from Baltimore? Omar from The Wire, even in fiction.
I mean,
Here, let me put it to you this way: ABM's from Baltimore.
mm-hmm.
Aqua
Well,
Techie's from Baltimore.
yeah,
If
well,
any of these motherfuckers said anything that I was fake or I'm a fake Baltimorean, even though I sound proper, I do have the Baltimorean vernacular. But notice when I speak on Reginald F. Lewis, which is fucking his fucking not only his monument but his museum is downtown,
mm-hmm.
right before you get to 83, the first official black millionaire, excuse me, billionaire, who was an
You're right, man.
investment broker,
Mm-hmm.
cigar smoker, styler, and profiler. But yeah, y'all not ready for this shit.
Let me
Let's
throw.
not talk about, since we talking about black history, which is all encompassing of black folk.
Mm-hmm.
Haley Cilicia was only like what 5'5", 5'6"
He was
Yep.
5'3",
before we had a 5'3" short man.
Mm-hmm.
little ass
Shout out to the
motherfucker.
short king.
Let me
But
throw
he
some
was
black
so,
history on this.
but he was so skilled
Mm-hmm.
in international affairs. What did he tell the League of Nations? If you don't get rid of the Nazi problem, they're going to become yours. And they were fumbling and jumbling when he made that statement because they couldn't deny this man's elegance and intelligence.
The
Let me
man
And what
drop
is
finished
a
the
his
little.
speech
official
by
title
saying,
of every emperor of Ethiopia? The conquering lion of the
Mhm.
tribe of Judah.
"The Lion of Judah, the Holy See." Also, that we had that address at the League of Nations. He finished off by saying, "God and history remember what you do today."
Let me throw a little history here. You mentioned Doug Williams out of Grambling State University.
And how many of us remember Doug? Do we give Doug the praise that we remember Brady, we remember Manning, we
Mm-hmm.
remember we remember all the great quarterbacks, but nobody talks about Doug Williams, do they?
Except us. Let me drop
What
what
was
Doug Williams did. Doug Williams didn't even throw 35 passes in Super Bowl 22. And yet he threw for 340 yards, which at the
Mm-hmm.
time was a Super Bowl record. He threw for 4 touchdowns, and all 4 touchdowns came in the second quarter of that game when the Redskins, and yes, I said Redskins, exploded for 35 points, a record that still in the second quarter, a record that still stands today.
but yet a lot of people when the Colts left in '83 when I was one, how many people in the black community still respect Doug Williams?
Not many, but I'm going to make him a focus tomorrow. When I
Black History Month. Look at this. ABM will tell you how many people shit on Lamar. And Lamar's done shit that people who had twice the length of career couldn't do what he did.
in a shorter amount of time.
To
And
put it
most likely, he's going to be the third MVP.
to put it in perspective, Josh Rosen was drafted before Lamar Jackson.
Yep. And we know what happened to Josh Rosen. Let me throw
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold was drafted before him.
Yep.
The
And
I mean,
only
Darnold
just
person,
think about that for a second.
and Darnold's barely a free agent. Let me throw a
and,
couple of other let me throw a couple of other nuggets. Since this is Super Bowl week, all right, since this is the beginning of Super Bowl week, and I love
Yes, it
talking
is.
about this point.
Yes.
There are two black men who made history calling a Super Bowl, one for television and one for radio. The one for television, he did it 2 times. The late great Greg Gumbel from my hometown of Chicago.
Hmm.
The second one, a fellow who's a very dear friend of mine, did 3 of them for Westwood One. Dave Sims.
I want you to think. I want you to think about this, right? How many quarterbacks threw for over 4,000 and rushed for 3,000? How many?
There's only one,
Uh,
Lamar Jackson.
Steve Young, maybe,
three.
or is it Cam Newton?
No, there's only
No,
No, that
one.
can't mean.
Lamar Jackson.
There's only Lamar Jackson. Let me tell you how great Lamar Jackson, even without a ring, is. He gets his 3rd MVP. Hell, with 2 MVPs, you're guaranteed a fucking first ballot.
Hmm.
A
And
3rd?
one of those two MVPs just happened to, I think both of them just happened to be unanimous.
Yeah. How
I
many?
think both of his MVP awards were unanimous.
I don't even think one of Brady's MVPs was unanimous.
Not one. Not one.
Don't get mad at me, fellas. Vic didn't do. Mike Vick didn't do it.
Hell no.
The only person to throw for 4,000+ yards and rush for what was it, 3,000?
Rush,
1,000?
throw for 4 and rush for 1 in a
Rush
season
for 1 in a season was only Lamar.
was Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
It took Michael Vick. Michael Vick got close
Yeah.
twice with
I
Atlanta.
thought so. Yeah, I figured he
Yeah.
did, but he didn't
Michael
quite
Vick-
get there. Yeah.
Michael Vick got close twice with Atlanta, including 2001, his rookie season. But he only in his rookie season, he threw for less than 4. Matter of fact, both times he threw for less than 4.
I think 1 or 2 more times he will have the record for perfect quarterback rating.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Vic or Lamar?
Lamar.
Jackson.
Oh, Lamar. Okay.
Jackson.
So what do you wait? What do you fellas think? They gonna give MVP to Josh or Lamar? Honestly,
I will. May I be completely red pill honest?
No,
Yep.
don't black belt, nigga.
yeah, right.
Okay. Okay.
We
Then
don't
I
do
couple-
we
then
don't
I
do
couple
morality
it-
over here.
y'all-
We do
okay,
truth.
y'all know how I operate. I couple it with a request. Somebody please help the snowman out with a cash app this evening.
If you're gonna donate to me,
I
Because
still don't have Cash App. Damn it. How about Chime? Do y'all do Chime?
I don't even do
Chime
Chime. I just do
Chime
Cash
I can
App.
do.
I
Chime
can do
I can do.
PayPal. I can do PayPal. I can do
do
KTAP.
I can
Man,
do
I'm from
PayPal,
Chicago, man. We
Venmo.
do Chime.
Chime I can do because I'm getting ready to lose my internet service because we had so much going
Why?
on here in the last month. And
Are you on the West Coast?
no, I'm in Indiana. I'm on the
Well,
East
then,
Coast.
what's the
Get your ass
problem?
back with Indiana.
What's the problem? I don't
Yeah.
have any cash. That's the problem.
Well,
They
get
won't
your
give
ass
him
on the
disability.
air. Call some games.
He
Call
called them.
some games.
He
You
called
know,
them.
do you know how many times
Think
I've
about-
listened to you and I didn't tell you I was there? You know how many times I've done that?
See. I'm gonna have to spank you for a minute.
Why?
I'm gonna spank you for a minute. Excuse me.
Why?
I gotta clear the air for a minute.
Okay.
This is the reason why I tell people who's in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very important to know so we can see the names who come to the chat. The
Yep.
faithful few. Shout out to Electrician 480. Shout out to ABM. Shout out to Namer. Shout out to Snowman. Shout out to others. Shout out to Blood Boiling. Shout out to LAPD SWAT. They are adamant. Shout out to Iori when he comes
I get
on.
it.
Shout out because guess what? Shout out because guess what? We know who the fuck's in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm very interactive with my public. Even
As
if
am
I got think about this. Within a month, I got 1,100 subscribers off of my shorts.
Yep.
This is how bullshit YouTube
Yeah.
can be.
It is.
I
It's
got
bullshit.
I got nearly 1 million views off of one short.
Mm-hmm.
I got nearly
Yeah.
450K shorts off of one other. And you
Mhm.
telling me I can't get Cash App? I can't get, I can't get the
All
donation.
right. Oh
I
no, I
can't
get
get
it. Okay, I'll do better. I'll do better, man. I'll try to
and,
get cash
I'm gonna
out.
tell you what's crazy.
Yeah.
I could go through Black and ABM will tell you one thing about Baltimoreans. Shout out to Billie Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
You like jazz niggas?
There's Billie Holiday.
A little bit.
ABM, where are you? Where are you, my nigga?
Yo,
I'm right here, dog. Where my dogs at? You know? Tell these
Billy
niggas about
Holiday.
Billie Holiday in Baltimore.
Yeah, man. A lot of people came out of this town.
Yeah.
Quite a kept.
I
I
got
know.
I got a baseball one for you.
Tell me
And
about Edgar Allan Poe.
Charles,
Hell,
I got a
hell.
baseball
I
one.
Oh
live
wait, he I don't know if he was from there, but he lived there a long time, right?
Babe
he's
Ruth.
Edgar Allan
buried
Poe?
here. He's buried across the street from the VA.
Babe Ruth.
Wow. Are you
Hell,
serious?
I got
hell.
I
I
got a
live
baseball one.
I
I got
live
a
when
baseball one for you.
hold on for a minute. I lived literally 2 blocks away when I lived on Valley Street, and
Uh-huh.
ABM know what I'm talking about. I
Yeah.
lived 2 blocks away when I used to walk my dog where John Wilkes Booth was buried.
Yeah.
That's how fucking much history Baltimore. Let me
Look,
put
they
it to
don't
you
talk
this
about Babe Ruth.
Wait, you mean the guy that
way.
shot Lincoln?
Babe Ruth. Baltimore is one of the most historic towns in America.
We talking
Sure
Black
is.
History Month. Frederick Douglass was born in Maryland.
Yeah. And guess where
Yeah.
he stayed a lot of? Baltimore.
What's her name? Uh, uh,
Mhm.
Freed the slaves. Harriet Tubman.
Harriet Tubman.
She was born in Maryland.
Yeah. So you telling me in this region of the country, this small ass state compared to many others,
Yeah.
if it wasn't for Baltimore, you'd be talking with a fucking English accent.
Let me tell you. Let me give you a few baseball
Wait,
tidbits.
real quick. Let me ask ABM something. Not Charles. Charles knows too much about everything. I want to ask ABM, what's Baltimore's population? Just the city, not the state.
I want to say roughly 400,000,
About
give or take.
500.
Okay, so not quite 500,000. Okay. Okay. Because
So you
y'all
telling
know I'm in Chicago. We're not quite 3 million. We used to be, but
You got to
too many people
understand,
have left.
Baltimore is like half of Philly, and it's a
Okay.
third of Chicago.
and you
Okay.
got to think about it. At one point, the Baltimore Police Department was the seventh largest department. It went down during a few years to 14th, and it got back to 8th. There's one
Really?
department. Yeah, and there's one
Wow.
department. When on my birthday,
Uh
when I went to go reunite after 10 years to my homegirl, I should have married that pretty bitch.
huh. You
You
sure?
talk, dude.
More on that later.
Shout out to Cleopatra Reader. I forget what her married her she remarried. Dude, you talk about hazel eyes, always worked out. She's a year older than me. Her birthday's in August. She will be if I'm 43 this year, she'll be 44. She looked like she's still in her mid to late 20s.
She took care of herself. Okay.
Oh, uh, the army shows you how to take care of
Say
yourself,
this
baby.
about my wife. I mean, she's gonna turn 53 in June.
Yeah,
She doesn't
yeah.
look a day over 30.
Shit, that's
Honestly.
not bad. That's especially good for a white woman. Good
Let
God.
me get you on this. Let me get you on this baseball. Let me get you on this baseball history. Speaking of Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah, go ahead.
1983, Rick Dempsey won the World Series MVP for the Baltimore Orioles. Cal Ripken was second. You know who was third in voting?
Who?
Switch hitter
Uh,
Eddie Murray.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Number 33,
Wait,
Eddie
what's that?
Murray.
Yeah, look, man, I'm not big on. I know a lot. I know a lot about football. I know a lot about basketball. I don't know too much about
And
baseball. Who's
that was Cal
the famous?
Ripken's rookie year.
Who's you guys' famous pitcher?
83.
83.
And speaking of Eddie Murray, any O's fan will tell you, one of the
Pitcher?
most popular Orioles, way more popular than Cal, even though Cal gets
Was
all the
Eddie Murray.
fame.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Eddie Murray was the most popular Oriole.
matter of fact, Eddie Murray.
The only people you can put over Eddie Murray is probably Brooks and Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, Eddie Murray couldn't. When Eddie Murray was around, Eddie Murray was a goddamn national hero and treasure.
He was.
And guess what? Hell, I wish I could grow the muffin. If I let my mustache grow out, I will shave the goatee just to get the fucking Eddie Murray fucking muffin chops connected to the goatee.
Great stash. One of the best stashes.
One of the best.
And you telling me that man was a god on the baseball field?
My grandfather's favorite Oriole.
That
here's
motherfucker.
Some more black history for you. In terms of football, and I've spoken about this gentleman so many times over, not only here on this panel, but on my morning show. Does the name Roger Craig mean anything to you guys?
Yes.
Oh, one of the greatest running backs of all time.
San Francisco 49ers.
He was the first running back in NFL history.
1,000
season, 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving.
And hell, it's only been done maybe 3-4 times.
It's been done 2 more times. Once by Marshall Faulk, and then once by Christian McCaffrey. Here's the thing.
Wow.
Roger Craig did that in '85, and he clinched that feat in the third quarter against the Cowboys of all teams.
Wow. Yeah, Roger Craig could churn those. Oh man. Did you see his thighs? No, I'm serious. No homo. Did you see his thighs when he would run the ball? He was ridiculous. He was busting people in the head.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
When he was drafted by San Francisco, you know what position he played?
Tight end?
He was a fullback.
He wasn't that big though. Did he lose weight?
He had to gain weight, actually.
He was a fullback?
He was a fullback out of Nebraska.
Wow. I didn't know that.
6 feet tall, 215 pounds.
This is why I enjoy talking to Snowman. He knows about all this shit.
Let me send y'all back to 1988. Charles, if you will check the back, there's a video clip waiting. Let me send y'all back to 1988 as I set the table for you. We're in Anaheim, California, at Anaheim Stadium, and this happened.
Roger Craig, still on his feet, still running. What a run by Roger Craig.
God damn. God damn. No, play that shit back, nigga. Play that shit back.
Let me see that again. Yeah.
That was week 7, 1988 in Anaheim, California.
Play that back. Rewind that shit.
What year was this for him in the NFL?
This was his
second, third,
5th season.
5th season. Okay. All right. Yeah, run that back. Yeah.
Hey, take a look at this again.
Bloop, bloop. Shaking them off.
He had people order. And then
shaking them off.
He had somebody.
I like that.
Twice. Hey, if y'all like this, drop a cash app to Charles and to myself, because we're giving you some real.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna pick Snowman's brain.
Yes.
How many Hall of Famers did we have off the Colts?
The Indianapolis Colts?
Indianapolis or Baltimore?
Who the fuck you think?
That is where they started. You're right. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Was Marvin Harrison there when they were still in Baltimore?
No. That came. Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne came after.
After that,
about almost 2 decades after.
Yeah,
Eric Dickerson.
They came after.
He was a Ram.
Yeah, Eric Dickerson went into the Hall of Fame as a Ram.
Oh, not
So
a
The answer,
Indianapolis
I
Colts? Okay.
believe, is 14.
Johnny U.
And the answer is 14. Some of
Wait,
them
Johnny U.
14,
include
14
Johnny
what?
Unitas, 14 Hall of Famers
Oh,
that were,
okay.
that were
Gotcha,
Baltimore
gotcha.
Colts.
Okay.
Some of them include Johnny Unitas. Of course, we all know about
Mm-hmm.
Johnny U. Running back Lenny Moore. Head coach Weeb Eubank, which took him on the brink of a this was before the Super Bowl era.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive tackle Jim Parker played 10 seasons in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Art Donovan, defensive tackle, played 9 seasons with Baltimore. Raymond Berry, who later went on to become the coach of the New England Patriots, played 13 seasons in Baltimore. John Mackey, tight end. Who else we got? Gino Marchetti, defensive end. Ted Hendricks, defensive
Mm-hmm.
end. Don Shula, 3 years coach with the Baltimore coach, 63 to
Baltimore.
66.
And how
And
many does the Ravens have currently?
You mean a Hall of Famers?
Mm-hmm.
Ray Lewis, Ed
Uh,
Reed, Jonathan
4.
Ogden. There should be 3.
And guess what? It's gonna be Johnny Ogg, Ray, who's number 2, which is
Mm-hmm.
proper because they were drafted the same year.
Number 1 and number 31, same draft.
And Ed Reed, the greatest safety of all time. Fuck what you heard.
matter of
Okay.
fact, the total is
Harold
7.
Green would disapprove of that, but go ahead.
The total is 7.
And now, guess who's the next 2 that's gonna go? And I know nobody's gonna argue with these 2.
Terrell
Are they
Suggs and
still
Marshall
playing?
Yonder.
Wait. Are they still playing?
No,
No.
Okay.
Marshall
Okay. Go ahead.
Yonder and Terrell Suggs. Marshall Yonder is Mr. Reliable. Terrell Suggs is 9th in all-time sacks.
Yeah.
Defensive player
Yeah,
of
I
the
know
year.
about
You got to
Terrell. I don't
understand
know
something about those
about.
Ravens defenses.
I don't
And
know
you'll
about
never
Marshall.
see
I
this
know about
again.
Terrell
Hold
Suggs.
on. Let
You- you- you-
ABM, you got the floor.
You're
Yeah,
never
my
going to
bad.
see this again. You're never going to see an NFL team have 3 defensive player of the years on the same defense. The
Wow.
Ravens had Ray Lewis, a 2-time defensive player of the year, Ed Reed, and Terrell Suggs.
And Terrell Suggs.
You'll never
Wow.
see that again.
That
And
is
guess who
amazing because
else?
I
And guess who else?
was a defensive player, so I like that. I like that.
And guess who else is going to eventually go?
Lamar.
Eventually, you're going to see Haloti Nada.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what
Derrick
they say
Henry.
about. I don't care what they say about Justin Tucker with this bullshit. Because
Mhm.
I always look at shit like that as suspect. Why didn't you say this shit earlier?
Mhm.
They're trying because Justin Tucker in a negative light is never spoken about. That's why.
Justin Tucker's going to go. Justin Tucker's going to go down as the greatest kicker of all time.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see. You're going to see eventually Antoine Bolden because he retired as a Raven.
Yep, Antoine Bolden.
He's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anquan. Yeah. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Anquan, we got to be black for a minute.
That's his actual name, though. Anquan Bolden.
And here's the crazy part. Lamar's going to get us a ring. But
eventually,
if Lamar retired right now, he'd be a first ballot.
Easy.
Mm.
Easy. You know who else should be?
And look at how many quarterbacks was drafted before him. Josh Allen.
Yep.
What's the one dude who played for the Buccaneers?
Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold.
Josh Rosen.
Sam Darnold.
Look what happened to him.
What's the one who's played for the Buccaneers now?
Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield. Thank you, Snowman. Yeah. He made a comeback though. He did. He made a comeback.
I respect Baker Mayfield, But is he better than Lamar?
No,
Not
no,
a chance.
not at all. No, no,
Not a chance.
And
no.
here's the crazy part: if Lamar got the fucking love of the officials that
Patrick Mahomes.
of the the magnificent mulatto Patrick
No.
Mahomes.
Oh wow.
Matter of fact, let me throw a record at you right now. He holds the record, Lamar does right now, of career rushing yards by a quarterback with 6,173.
And
Wow.
counting. And counting. And he
Man, they
did it
hating on him, man. They're hating on him.
and he did it in he did it in less years.
Man, he might be too black to win a Super Bowl, man.
Let's talk about
That's what I fear. That's what I fear.
let's talk
He
about
has
some Black history.
Lamar also has 4 games with a perfect passer rating, and he is tied for the all-time record in that. He's tied for the all-time record with that.
And
Let's see
who
how
else
good.
did he? And who did he? And by the way, who did he tie with?
Aaron Rodgers.
What? Aaron Rodgers.
But not bad for a running back, right?
He wasn't.
Not bad.
Let's
bad
talk
at all.
about some Black history for a second, since we're talking football.
Go ahead.
Lawrence Taylor is the only player in NFL history, only defensive player in NFL history to win MVP.
No, nope.
That's wrong.
What's the dude from the Vikings?
Oh, right. No, that's San Francisco. Not Ronnie. Wait, what? Didn't Ronnie Lott get it?
No.
It's
The
the
Vikings,
defensive
John Randall?
Randall.
No.
It's not Randall. It's somebody else because there's 2 people who got MVP. It's one is LT, and don't make me go to Google, mother.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
And are we talking Super Bowl era only?
Yeah, he was being very vague.
No, I think he's right.
I'm back, motherfuckers.
I think he's right.
Alan Page.
Alan Page.
And LT.
Alan Page. The name was stuck on my tongue. Alan Page.
Yeah, and think about it. You want to talk about great football players since we talk about Black history. Who's number 1 in sacks all time?
Reggie White.
Nope.
He's still playing.
Who broke his record?
Not Sam Darnold. What's his name? The Rams. Oh, I can't remember his name. Somebody help me.
Michael Strahan.
Michael
Strahan? Really?
Strahan.
Oh, that's my favorite New York Giant. Okay.
What, the leader in sacks?
Bruce motherfucking Smith.
Bruce Smith.
By the way, Bruce Smith's all-time leading, and this motherfucker was in a 4-3 defense.
Yeah, that's about right. 4-3. Yeah, 4-3 defense is the way to go. I don't believe in the 3-4,
fucking
man.
Buffalo defense all those years.
You know what? I mistakenly said Strahan as I was thinking of number of
Strahan is the single season record.
He's the single season record holder. The all-time record holder is indeed Bruce Smith.
With an
even 200.
Yeah.
With an even 200. I was thinking single season, and man, oh man. Okay. Since we're talking about history, I haven't done this in a while, so let me throw some trivia out there for you guys.
I'm sorry for saying this. Terrell Suggs is not 9th all time. I'm sorry. He's 8th all time.
So you downgraded him, yeah. Right.
I'm sorry. I'm a Baltimorean. I'm sorry. 8th all time. So you telling me that's not Hall of Fame worthy?
It is. Okay,
And he played on one of the greatest defenses of all time. No,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, the greatest defense of all time. You put the
Mhm.
Baltimore 2001 Ravens against
Yeah.
any fucking offense in any era.
Ooh. Yeah.
Nobody.
You know
Yeah. The
what?
They
way.
You
got
know what?
The way. No.
I
Wait.
understand.
I gotta say this.
I
The way
understand
those guys
statistically.
came off the ball, man. The way they came off the ball, I was like, shit. They
I
were
understand
smothering.
they
statistically.
had everything timed so well. That
Wow.
defense had the timing down. They knew the snap count before you did.
Before you
I
did, I never
understand
seen
that
no shit like
They knew
that.
statistically speaking.
they knew the snap count before you did.
Yeah.
I understand.
Here's a piece of Black History / Hall of Fame trivia.
Mm-hmm.
And one other person has gotten this question correct.
Mm-hmm.
There are a pair of HBCU receivers who were teammates that started 3 Super Bowls. Name
one
them.
was Jerry Rice.
One is Jerry Rice.
I can't think of the other.
Let me see.
Does
Receiver.
Shannon Sharp count?
Matter of fact, let me do it this way. Let me do it this way.
Because we know Jerry,
Jerry's one.
arguably the greatest football player to ever play the game.
Who was on the other side of him?
John Taylor.
That's him. You got it. Jerry Rice and John Taylor. Jerry Rice from Mississippi Valley State. John Taylor from Delaware State.
How long did they play together?
10 years.
Wow.
Let me say something real
That's
quick.
actually a long time.
They played the entirety of John Taylor's career.
Let me say something real quick. Going back to the Ravens, the 2000 Ravens defense. I know we like the statistical. They gave up the least points ever.
Mm-hmm.
I argue with people that the 07 defense was better.
No, I don't agree with that.
You think so?
I don't agree with
Run down
stats
that 07 defense.
I'm going off of how they came off that 2001 squad, man. The way they came off that ball was, I never seen no shit like that.
You saw it in
Like
07.
Snowman said, they knew the count before you did.
Before you did.
Ray Lewis,
07
Ed
defense
Reed, Chris McAllister, Samari Rolle, Kelly Gregg, Trevor Price, Bart Scott, Suggs,
That was a
Nada.
murderous throw.
Bro, that fucking 07 defense was nasty.
Oh, that was a murderous row.
Nasty.
You talking about shit? You had fucking what's the dude who was already a great in the Steelers, but he got a ring with us.
On defense?
Mm-hmm.
What year?
2001.
2001. Let me go through the starting defense.
Steelers?
Rod Woodson.
Rod Woodson. Oh man, yes. I met Rod Woodson.
Rod Woodson. I was going through.
Rod Woodson was so nice. He was catching interceptions as a. We had him. He started as corner, and we put him as safety.
Yep.
God
Free
damn,
safety.
that motherfucker was nice.
Free safety, as a matter of fact.
And still was laying wood to people.
Prior to Ed Reed having the record for most pick sixes, it was Rod Woodson.
It was Rod Woodson.
Yeah. Hey, forgive my ignorance. Did Nate Burleson play for Baltimore for a minute? You know, the commentator.
He played for the Vikings. I know that, and he also played.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you how vicious that defense was.
Mm.
You imagine having Saragusa in the middle. You have Ray behind him, Bart Scott and Adalius next to him.
Mm-hmm.
You had your corners, Chris McAllister, and the fucking backfield, Rod Woodson, who was already a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I forget who the other safety was. Man.
Dwayne Sparks.
You guys
Dwayne
dig Michael Orr?
Starks out of Miami. Dwayne Starks was the
Hey,
other.
are y'all watching Bitcoin? Yo, the coins are dropping like fucking crap.
Flies.
I'm
I
gonna tell
thought
you what.
they were rising because of Trump.
No, everything's crashing right now.
Damn.
So if you, I ain't mean to switch the subject like that, but I just was saying if you paying attention, might be a good time to buy some things.
Or sell out. Yeah. Sell off, not sell out. I shouldn't say sell out. Sell off. Yeah. What's up with Michael Orr though? Did y'all dig him? Baltimore man?
The Blind Side.
And
Yeah.
by the way, shout out to Afro National and shout out to Atlanta 3000. I got to give this salute.
Mhm.
Atlanta and Afro National. We're gonna go through the piles of Grayskull with you niggas. Here we go. Here we go.
By the power of Grayskull.
And y'all
Love
niggas wonder why we're the millennials are the last generation, the oldest millennials. We are the last
Absolutely.
generation of masculinity. How the
Absolutely.
fuck did you? Even the gay motherfuckers were masculine watching that shit.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck? How the fuck do you come up saying by the power of Grayskull? And what was He Man's moniker? The most powerful man in the universe.
Yeah.
Do y'all understand? Look, y'all don't mind if even though I know this is my channel, but I like to break this
Nerd talk.
down.
It's nerd talk time. It's all good.
He-Man, when you listen to the creators, talked about African spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Since we talk in Black History Month, right, folks?
Yes, we are.
Mm-hmm.
African spirituality. How did Haiti defeat the French? They prayed to the creator and they gave blessings to their ancestors for strength.
Mm-hmm.
Who does He-Man ask for the power from? His ancestor, King Grayskull. In the current iteration, King Grayskull is a black man.
Oh, the Netflix joint?
Yeah, King Grayskull is a black man.
I haven't seen the new stuff, so you have to forgive me. Yeah, I haven't seen the
King
new stuff.
Grayskull is a black man.
Wow. So look,
So
Charles.
they're doing. I mean, if you look at Thundercats, when he puts the Sword of Omens to his head and he says, "Sword of Omens, give me what?"
Sight beyond sight.
Sight beyond sight. Yeah.
And where's the hilt of the sword pointed at? His forehead, which is the pineal gland from Egypt, from Kemet or Egypt, which is the what? Third eye. And what is the Sword of Omens? What's the gem called in the Sword of Omens? The Eye of Thundera.
Eye of Thundera.
Yeah.
So he's literally talking to the old gods of blackness. Sword of Omens, give me sight. Let me see things that normal people do not see.
Yeah.
Unveil the veil. Give me sight beyond what?
Sight.
I can see into the past. I can see far within space. I can see the future beyond what? Sight. Meaning, these motherfuckers were taking your culture, your history, and you didn't even know it in the 80s, did you?
Sure did.
No, I did not. Too young, man. You were
Sure
too
did.
young. Come on now.
How do you spell She-Ra?
SHE-RA.
That's RA. Yeah.
What is how do you pronounce R-A?
Ra.
Ra.
Who is Ra?
Ra. As in
Sun
Sun Ra.
God.
I mean not
Sun
Sun
God.
Ra.
The sun god. So
Yeah.
her name was literally, if you want to
Almost
go into common, she God.
Mm-hmm.
You think these motherfuckers weren't teaching you if you weren't paying attention? She could have been called Isis. They originally wanted to call her Isis, which was a Greek goddess.
Yeah.
Yep.
Somebody told them no.
Uh-uh.
Wrong.
Somebody told them no.
Somebody struck that
No.
down.
Yeah.
Wrong. Think about it. And what did she wear when she transformed to Shira? The crown of Ra.
He sure did with her white ass. He sure did.
The Ra.
Wait, Charles, was that his cousin or his sister? He-Man, I mean.
That's her twin sister.
That's twin sister. That was his twin sister.
Well, why she
So
wasn't never in He-Man except for a couple episodes?
Because she was created after the series. So guess what?
Oh, okay. It's a writing thing.
Y'all keep thinking this is Black History Month, right?
It is
This
Black
is the
History
reason why y'all niggas need to fucking donate. I literally have on my bookshelf the history of this shit, the Bible, the bibliography of the Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
When you called her she, which means what? Woman, female.
Female, yeah, right.
And you call her Raw, what did you call her?
Female God.
Woman
Female
God.
God. Now, let's get back into the Black History moment. Anybody heard of Setmet?
No, I haven't.
The Eye of Horus or Ra and the Eye of Setmet. Setmet was the goddess of war. So when she transformed to Shira, she became what?
Goddess of war.
And what was her moniker? If He-Man, her twin brother, who has equal right to her being a princess, being a prince, equal right to being a princess, she was known as what? The most powerful woman in the universe. But black women don't want to take that.
They sure don't.
Mm-hmm.
They sure
You
don't.
rather be the queen of hell in a lower rank than you rather be equal to your man who's the god of war. That's
Leave
deep shit, isn't it? That's
Leave
just
it
a
to
cartoon,
Charles
and we got deep.
to come up with that.
But that's some deep
No, for
shit,
sure,
isn't
for
it?
Yeah.
That's some deep
Okay.
shit. I'm gonna play this shit again. Listen very carefully what he says.
By the power of Grayskull.
What did he say?
I have the power.
No.
Grayskull, I have power.
No. By the power of my ancestors.
That's not what he said.
That's basically what he said.
Translation of what he said.
Oh okay. I was being
his ancestor, King Grayskull, who was a black man.
Huh. But he's so white, Charles.
I'm gonna play it again. I'm gonna play it again.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick your brain really quickly. ABM, you don't mind, my fellow Baltimorean, do you?
Not at all.
And I want ABM to tell me, what do you notice about the imagery? Look at the skin color of Adam.
I already know.
That's the number one thing I'm going to tell you. And I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to let ABM break it down to you.
Okay.
By the power of Grayskull.
It's already browning up.
Now, I'm going to give you, please like, share, subscribe, and if you have the money, donate, because we're going to break this down to you. ABM, what's the first thing you notice of his transformation?
He turns brown.
He gets darker,
He
which
gets
means
tan.
what?
Yeah.
His ancestors were what?
We're black.
That's
And
not what
what's
they were
the
trying
most?
to say. That's
And
not what
what's
they were
the most?
saying.
And when you look at ancient Kemet, what was the most holy What was the most holy animal in Kemet?
The cat. The feline.
Cheetah or something like that.
The cats were the most holy.
Cat.
What was
Yeah.
the most? What was the companion of He-Man?
Battle
Battle
Cat.
Cat.
Battle cat.
And what did Battle Cat become? His ancestor. The largest cat ever known on mankind was the American lion, which was 1,000-pound plus cat.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The most powerful cat ever.
So let me ask you this, Mr. Faulkner. Why does he have a symbol that pretty much represents the Crusades on his chest? That's a symbol from the Crusades. You know what I'm talking about.
Because what was Jesus thought of being before the council on the side?
A rebel,
He was
what's
thought
the
of
term?
being, where's Namer? Because before the council on the side, everybody thought that Jesus was born in a cave in Ethiopia.
No damn caves in Ethiopia. Not really.
Ethiopia is nothing but hills and mountains.
Yeah, but
We
they're
got
not
Namer
known.
here.
They
We
weren't
got
known for
Namer.
living in caves though.
We
Where
got
is he?
Namer.
I would like to hear from him. I would.
So you have two images already. Actually, three, if you listen to what he said. By the power of who? My ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't talking about Castle Grayskull because inanimate objects do not hold power. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about the name. Yeah, the family name. Yeah.
The family name, if I talk about the Faulkner and Bazemore name, how proud am I of my family names? Swain, Bazemore, Faulkner.
Mm-hmm.
Because it gives me what? Strength. These are the motherfuckers that overturned slavery.
That was no easy task.
Think about it. How many hills and caves and mountains are in Ethiopia and Eritrea?
Countless.
It's a
And
mountainous.
You're talking about, and it's not just one set of mountains. You got a set. You got numerous sets of mountain ranges, and they're all rugged in their own way.
And rugged terrain makes what type of men?
Tough men, nimble. First of all, we're not buff. We have to be lean and nimble.
Ethiopians tend to be kind of tall and limber, right?
Yeah.
Not as tall as South Sudanese, but yeah.
So, because guess what? Physiology speaking, if we're on flat plains, which Baltimore tends to be, right?
Yeah.
I have to be strong enough. I'm 5'10". Neighbor's about what? 6'3"?
6'2", 6'3", yeah.
In other words, most land creatures, if I had to hunt, I had to be what? Physically able to to disable this animal with a spear, sword, or shield.
Or even your hands. Yeah.
Or no, not with
Even
your hands. You gotta
hands.
outwit them. Sometimes you gotta outwit them. You gotta
You gotta
outsmart them.
outwit. But on a flat plane, I have to be powerful enough to do what? Turn that motherfucker on his belly where most big animals are vulnerable.
Right. Yeah.
And that requires teamwork. That also means, and if you're a taller person, you have to have good vision because you can see things further from when you're taller. And oftentimes, it's like,
Charles.
let me hold
Good.
on,
Good.
Wolfbane. Let me explain something.
Mm-hmm.
To start with, when you talk about flatland and everything, take the San, aka the Bushmen of the Kalahari and the Namib deserts.
Mm-hmm.
They use poisonous darts, first of all, and what they do is they follow the animal because remember, humans are trained to be long distance runners as well as sprinters, so they can outrun their prey and tire it out, just like how an African wild dog can do so in tandems. So you have to be able to, depending on the environment you are, know how your prey conducts itself. You have to understand every aspect of it. Humans have been for centuries following the ways of predators in order to capture game.
The first way humans ever hunted was to run their prey to exhaustion.
Yeah.
We couldn't overpower them like a lion. Think about it.
No.
The strongest, biggest Africans are normally where? On the West Coast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The fastest usually are where? On the East.
East. Yeah. Sometimes north. Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
By the way, as far as caves go, in the highlands of Ethiopia, in the Semian highlands in particular, you have these baboons called the gelada baboons. Their pelts are used as headdresses to resemble lions' manes for the Oromos and for Oromo cavalrymen. But these baboons at night, while when they're on the plateaus, in the daytime they'd be feeding on grass, but at night they have to find caves on the sides of hills and mountains to protect themselves from getting hunted by leopards. While they're in those caves, they're also trying to bite into the rocks because the limestone and everything contains certain minerals that they lack when they're eating grass. And also, you want to talk about caves and everything, Charles? In Ethiopia as well as in Eritrea, traditionally, monasteries and churches were always on the top of high mountains for safety and security, and they also believe that the higher up you are in elevation, the closer you are to God and in heaven.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I've heard something similar. Yeah. Charles, are you familiar with there's no way you don't remember this. When RIP, because the recent conversation reminds me of when Kevin Samuels referenced you on his show and said Charles is a combatant that I would not want to take on in an enclosed area, like a ring or a closed off room. He said he would need open field to come because he was a martial artist, if I'm not mistaken.
He was a Chinese martial artist, kung fu.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, kung
Which
fu
I
was
thought
his.
was
Oh, really? Actual kung fu?
yeah.
Oh,
Which
okay.
styles? Which variations, however?
I thought it was more. Yeah, I thought it was okay. But he said he would
Believe it or
not
not,
want to take Charles on in an enclosed area or a like a 4x6 room. He said I need open space to come at that dude.
which I thought was one of the greatest compliments I was paid
Yeah,
on YouTube
I thought you
because
would. Yeah, I
you don't
remember that.
understand. I have 50 people from the department hit me up and said, "Did you know Kevin Samuels? I knew him way before he was popular."
Yeah, yeah.
And people don't understand. This is the wisdom of a man when it comes to combat. A man knows his strength, and he damn sure knows his weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm boxing or doing MMA
Mhm.
with a guy
What you
who's
done?
6'4" like Kevin Samuels, I don't want to give him distance.
You got to
Right.
close that range. You got to close the distance, take him down, ground and
I
pound
got
him.
to take him down, or I got to hit him with something that said, "Oh Jesus, no."
You got, if you're gonna be standing up, you're gonna be bully fighting like you were like smoking Joe Frazier, or you got to take him down and just wear him out like
Like a Randy
like
Couture,
Randy
like a John
Couture, Kevin
Jones.
Randleman, Tito Ortiz. Who else was nasty with his ground and pound? Mark
Fedor
Coleman.
Emelianenko.
Fyodor Emelianenko, he was more when he took you down, he was more focused on submission.
Oh no, he'll beat the shit out of you.
Well, he would beat you, but he liked those submissions sometimes,
He likes
especially
your
when you had him on the bench.
submission, but Fedor will beat the fuck out of you. Like
Fedor
Ken
will knock you
Shamrock in his
out.
prime. Ken Shamrock in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
You
Who
imagine having a guy that's 230 pounds of muscle grabbing a limb, and he could do whatever the fuck he please with your limb.
a master of sports ensemble? Come on, man, you can't fuck with that.
What's the
And
name?
people
Wait,
don't.
what's the name
And
again?
people, Fedor
Fedor
Emelianenko.
Emelianenko, the last emperor, as he was called.
People don't
Okay.
understand this about when you go overseas and they call you a master of sambo. That's the equivalent of having a master's degree in a martial art.
Whooping
Yeah.
ass. Yeah. Mm.
That's basically he had a master degree in sambo because that was actually part of the curriculum in Russia.
Let me look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look up his rank because when it comes to sambo, he was like a multiple time world combat sambo champion.
I'm still here, folks, just trying to handle something really, really quick.
It's all
Oh,
good.
how by the way, how's Jody doing? No, man.
Yes, Neymar, what's up?
How's the wife?
She's
How's she
okay.
doing? All right, do send her my best.
Will do.
And I apologize for for all the bum leg orthopedic jokes. I overdo it sometimes.
Dude, I'm dealing with two bum legs. You're fine. I make them on myself. You're fine.
Oh my leg! Oh my leg! Oh my leg! Oh my leg!
So you have to understand that
Oh,
there was
four-time
like
combat
there
sambo
was like
champion.
about there was about 50 to 40 people who either called me or hit me off a messenger. I didn't know you knew Kevin Samuels. You surprised who I know.
By the
Yeah.
way,
And that was a great compliment.
mhm.
But guess
Mm-hmm.
what? I don't want a nigga like Kevin Samuels to keep kicking me in the leg or the stomach.
Sweeping you. Yeah.
No,
Just giving
Charles
you
Sweep
was
that
the
cool.
leg. Sweep the leg. Yeah.
kicking you in the thigh. Imagine chasing
Oh,
that motherfucker for 10 minutes and he keeps pop. He takes that femur and just pop right in your
kind of
thigh or your
that
stomach,
oblique kick
or he gives you a T kick in the
to the
stomach.
gut. Oh, that'll hurt right there. Or
Yeah.
if
This
he
is true,
fights,
but Charles, if somebody like you gets him in a bear hug, it's over with. you
if you
know.
get him in the clinch, if you can clinch
Well,
him.
Yeah.
you gotta clinch with him first, but if he's mobile, you gotta get there first. And
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
It's like imagine dealing with people like George Foreman, who's 6'3", 6'4",
Yeah.
235 pounds of muscle, and hits
And
like a
can
freight
knock you.
train.
Yeah.
Oh, you see that link I sent? Did you check out those clips I sent you about George Foreman, his
Oh
comeback
yeah,
fights and everything?
oh yeah. A lot of those dudes. You got to think in the '90s. We talk about Tyson,
Mm-hmm.
but how many motherfuckers were capable of dealing with George Foreman's power?
How he lured and what he did to the Michael Moore. He had to lure
Michael
him in.
Moore, he suckered the shit out of him. People try to say that fight was fixed. No, he was Michael Moore was winning.
Yeah, and give it. Come on now, y'all are avoiding the obvious. Don't forget about Muhammad Ali.
Well, Muhammad Ali was the master. He knew what he could do
Rope a dope.
versus what he used to be able to do. Because if you would have gave Muhammad his last the 3 years he was not given, Muhammad probably would have retired undefeated.
Yeah. By the
They're
way, Charles,
they're
I'm looking up Fedor's accomplishments here. Four-time national. He's a four-time. Where is it? Yeah, he's a
combat
four-time
sambo.
combat sambo champion, seven-time combat sambo national champion, two-time Russian national judo bronze medalist. He holds the rank of black belt in judo, and he holds a rank of merit master of sports of Russia in sambo.
And how many times he won the world sambo?
Let me see. World championships 3 times, gold medal, and then he had a bronze in 08.
And he was undefeated from when? Because his first loss doesn't count because that was just from a cut, and instead of giving the people his team time to heal the cut and rings, I forget the Japanese guy. They said it, but when he faced him again, he destroyed him.
Oh, Tsuyoshi Kosaka. Yeah,
Yeah, he destroyed him in the rematch.
yeah. But
Like people forget.
with Nogueira, he had 2 fights with Nogueira. The first one was a no contest
No, the
because
second
of a
one.
clash of heads. The second one, he won by decision.
No, the second one was a clash. Because the first one, he was beating the ever loving shit out of him,
Yeah.
and that was a shock.
Anyway, yeah. Okay. His actual first loss was against was in Strikeforce in the main event. It was against Fabricio Verdun. Verdun lured him in
Verdun,
and got him in a triangle choke.
and even then, Verdun was scared for his life.
Yeah, he knew he had to go to the ground. He knew you got to take it to the ground.
Because you got to remember, that motherfucker stood up with Krokoff and held his own. A K1 champion,
Mirko
one of the
Krokov
highest levels of
Filipovic.
kickboxing,
The
the
trademark
highest,
left high kick, the left-footed head kick.
what do you say?
Knocking.
Right kick hospital, left leg, left kick morgue. That
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker could kick a fuck. That motherfucker will kick a fucking tin can and open. And next thing, he would kick a tin can so hard you would have apple cutlers.
Yeah.
I
And
believe it.
Of course, that was like the. Of course, after the loss to Verdun, he lost 2 more after that. The second one would be to Antonio Bigfoot Silver. That was a doctor stoppage.
yeah, and the
And then
second
the
against
third was Dan
Hendo.
Henderson. Dan
Dan
Henderson TKO punches. First
Dan
round.
Henderson. Dan Henderson was very. Dan Henderson's probably one of the most dangerous motherfuckers you could face in MMA. And he was actually a glorified middleweight at heavyweight. He had probably the most dangerous right hand in any combat sport ever. He touched you, it was like the hand of God blessing you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
I'm going a little left here, but does anybody know, particularly Charles, is Carl Miller still living?
good
I'll
question.
look it up later, but I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Damn.
Good question. I mean, you
Which
have
Carl Miller are we talking about?
Ernie Shavers. Good God, Ernie Shavers might be first when it comes to heaviest punchers of all time, if not second. The only person I could think that hits just as hard as Ernie Shavers is Foreman, but even Ali said Shavers hit harder. Ernie Shavers, matter of fact, there's a legend that goes Ernie Shavers was supposed to be Clubber Lang, and he just tabbed Sylvester Stallone in the body. He didn't even hit him full force. He just tagged him. They were like, "No, get that nigga out of here." I mean, that motherfucker could hit like a fucking. If you hear me say hit like a freight train, that motherfucker hit like a meteorite out of space.
Ouch.
Boom. it's a miracle that Ali and Larry Holmes survived that motherfucker because I think he put Larry Holmes on his ass once or twice, and Larry Holmes, by the blessings of God, had the stamina to keep going. And it's crazy, like to have human beings that could hit you so hard that they could take you literally off your feet with a punch, not lift you up, but hit you with a punch and take you and lift you a few inches off the ground. Like when motherfuckers say this motherfucker made you defy gravity with a punch, that's power. Oh yeah, Ronnie Lau, when he was coming out of jail too. You got to think his a correctional officer became his fucking trainer, and
Damn.
you want to see some of the hardest. You want to see one of the hardest hitting fights ever? Foreman versus Lyle. They dropped each other like bad habits,
That
man.
was a
They dropped
bloodbath.
each. Good God, that was
Jesus.
just. They hit each other. They didn't even have fists. They had warhammers, morning stars, and maces. They hit each other with. Two of the most powerful motherfuckers. I mean, like you thought these motherfuckers called upon the sword of omens and the powers of Grayskull and gamma rays and Kryptonian DNA, where they hit each other. Like they hit each other with tactical nukes. God damn.
And to think about how Larry Holmes came out of all of that as the top dog in that era.
Yeah. I don't think Larry Holmes get his fucking credit of how like you when Muhammad Ali retired, well, he kind of retired him, and he had to face Ernie Shavers, Ron Lyles, and I think Foreman retired too, and he came back in the '90s, in the late '80s, early '90s. And you got to think these were some of the hardest hitting motherfuckers, and Larry Holmes kept the title for almost a decade. God damn, that motherfucker's a legend. A lot of y'all niggas don't give Larry Holmes their credit, man. I'm gonna tell you that. Larry Holmes get Larry. I tell people Larry Holmes get all the
People
credit.
are so salty about how he beat Ali. That's why they never give Holmes his credit.
I mean, Ali was way past his prime, and what is his? He was telling the refs, "Stop this shit." And think about it. Larry Holmes was fucked up after that fight. He cried after that fight because he idolized Ali. Everybody idolized Ali.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't want to be the motherfucker to have to retire your hero. Like
So
think about it.
sometimes it's
That's
meant to
why they
be.
fucked him out of that fight when he lost to when they fucked him out of who did he
Spinks.
face?
Spinks.
Spinks. I don't
Leon
see how
Spinks?
Spinks won that fight.
I don't see
Two
how
things.
Spinks won either one of them.
Number one, they didn't want him to beat Rocky Marciano's record. Number two, they wanted him to lose because of the Ali shit. But you know who's another hard hitting motherfucker that people forget?
Oh,
I'm gonna tell you this one, right? I don't care how much you love Floyd Mayweather. If Floyd Mayweather had to go against the Four Kings, oh, he would
he
have
would have
never been
broken his
undefeated.
hand. He would have broken
They
his
would,
hand.
and they would have broken his body.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me if he had to go against Duran,
Roberto Duran? Oh, the hands of stone? He would have been fucked up all kinds of ways.
you thinking how would you think he would have done against Ray Leonard?
Oh, Ray would have had fun with him. He would have been toying with him, playing mind games, dancing, everything.
I don't think he would
Nah,
have challenged.
Ray Leonard was a killer. He would have went straight at Floyd.
He'd have
That's
hit
what
him with fucking.
people don't remember. Sugar Ray Leonard was a fucking vicious little bastard. I hated him.
Yeah, he
But
was
he
a
was a mean motherfucker. He
pretty
wanted to
boy,
knock you
but
out.
he wanted to fuck you up.
You go back and
And
watch them early Sugar Ray fights. He wasn't playing with you.
no, and then you would have went against Hitman Hearns. And
Man,
he
here's
was
worse. Here's worse. I'll give you one that's worse. Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
he's one of the four kings. Oh, Marvin
He would have
Hagler.
hurt. Hagler would have hurt him bad.
He
Hagler
would have
would.
never. I don't think he would have challenged him.
No, he would back off because if he fucked him up, you know what happened to Floyd? He come into the fight, speaking the way he usually does, but he gonna come out sounding like his old man.
I don't think he would have challenged him.
No,
And
he would have backed off. He wouldn't mess
let,
with him. He's like,
let me put it to you this way, right?
mm-hmm.
I forget the boxing convent, the guy who has a YouTube channel, Showtime to go or Showtime, whatever his name is, black guy, and he said Canelo tried to say he would have won against Ray Robinson and Carlos Monzon.
Get out of here.
The fuck out of here! I tell anybody, you really think that Canelo would have beat fucking the greatest of all time, Ray Robinson? And you saw what happened when a 40-plus-year-old fucking Floyd Mayweather made him look stupid. Ray Robinson was bigger, had power in both hands, just as fast as Mayweather, and can fucking have one of the greatest beards of all time. Out of 200 fights, he only been stopped once, and that wasn't because of TKO or knockout. It's because of dehydration.
Yep.
And that's when he was winning all the rounds for light heavyweights. He would have flamed Canelo. He would have retired Canelo. A lot of y'all
Canelo
need
would
to
have went
go.
from red to white right then and there.
Y'all need to go watch some of them Ray Robinson clips. One of them I have on my shorts with the perfect punch. That vicious fucking people used to think he was naturally left-handed because of how vicious his left hand was.
Yikes.
How many boxers have power in both hands? Even to this day.
Very
That
few.
motherfucker could tell you, I'm gonna put you down with the right and I'm gonna hurt you with the left. Or I'm gonna put you down with the left and I'm gonna hurt you with the right.
He
And
knew
you
where your weak spots were, man. He knew where to hit you, where to
and
connect
then
with
on
you guys.
top of that, Ray could throw 6-hit combos and it could be the second, third, fourth, or fifth. He doesn't even have to make it the first or the sixth out of that 6-hit combo that'll hurt you. And he would just put it up and you're down. And you don't even know why you're down. I remember
He used to be.
that motherfucker used to put your mouthpiece into orbit. At 160, at 5'11", the fuck out of here.
He
There is
ain't playing. He
there
ain't playing.
I don't shit. He would have gave prime Roy Jones problems.
Roy would have backed off and said, like, nah, I'm good. James Toney would have been like, I'm gonna go back to
Maybe.
training.
He would have probably been like, maybe. But you're telling me a much bigger, stronger version of you, just as fast. God damn, he would have put him to sleep.
That would have hurt.
And then you got to remember, you think if he can't go rounds, and he was boxing in the 15-round era. God damn. Jesus.
You had to have stamina.
You would have been praying to all the Abrahamic gods, Buddha. You would have been praying to all the three deities of Burma, Shiva, and what's the other one?
Krishna.
Krishna. You would have been praying to all the gods to get out of that match.
Hinduism, yeah. He would have been like, oh shit.
One step, I'm gonna tell you. Two sports, I'm gonna tell you. Two sports, I would have told you. That'll make you really realize something. Wrestling and boxing would really determine your manhood very quickly.
Shout out to the practitioners of Lam in Senegal and the Gambia.
Like, God. You wanted to think you tough. Even at going to Lake Clifton, and ABM knows how Lake Clifton was in the 90s. If you could wrestle, I don't care how hard of a thug you are. There were thugs who looked at me and said, "No, I don't want." And that's the time when they weren't jumping in. Oh, go fight that nigga. Oh, nah, 1-on-1. Y'all not gonna jump in? Nah, nigga. You claimed that you tough. Niggas didn't want to take that because if he gets you on the ground, you're in his world and he could do whatever the fuck he pleased. And God forbid a wrestler had hands. Shout out to the ice maker that's right behind me. How do you think guys like Marco Ruiz was so dangerous in UFC 7? He was a Muay Thai practitioner who had Vele Tudo submission skills.
Luta
Look what he
Libre.
did to look at the fucking look what the fuck he did to Paul Rollins, who outweighed him by 100 pounds. Foul! That thigh kick. Pow! And just crippled him. Got on top of him and beat the shit out of him. Man, see, this is the reason why, and I don't know if a lot of people agree with me, but I'm gonna say this. This is the reason why if I was mayor of Baltimore, I would invest money into fight gyms and give them money to get a lot of young black men to fight. It will humble the black community.
Baltimore be producing Golden Glove winners after,
Believe it or not, Baltimore produced a lot of in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Mhm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, ABM. Baltimore had some of the best fighters on the fucking planet at one time.
Facts.
From wrestling, y'all forget, go look up Rico Chaparelli. You already know about Hasim Rahman.
Hasim Rahman. Yep.
Go look up the Avengers with Raleigh Hawkins. By the way, my father, Sheila Dixon, and a couple other prominent people in Baltimore were black belts under Raleigh Hawkins. You forget. This is how popular. Just to give namers some and to guess. I know ABM knows.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Two prominent martial artists frequently came to Baltimore in the 60s and 70s. You might have heard of them, Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee.
Oh.
That's some of the black history y'all don't know. I'm gonna give y'all a black history test next time I come online. Matter of fact, I might do it on. Yeah, I'm gonna do online tomorrow. I ain't got shit to do. Go look up Raleigh Hawkins in Baltimore and tell me what you think about Baltimore history, black history.
Raleigh Hawkins.
Tell me what the fuck you think about him. Matter of fact, one of the most famous pictures, you'll see Raleigh Hawkins in between Bruce and Chuck. But guess what? What's the only thing I hear about in Baltimore?
How y'all's
And you hear about the crime,
Drugs.
and drugs. But y'all don't
and
know
the
that
low
Bruce.
educate and the low graduation rate?
But y'all don't hear about Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris regularly coming here to spar with fucking the top fucking martial artists in the world, right? Since we in Black History Month, right?
Yeah.
Y'all don't talk about Hasim Rahman when he put fucking Lennox Lewis on his ass, giving him night calls with a right hand.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't hear about Mac Lewis, do you?
Nope.
Y'all don't hear about Reginald F. Lewis, do you?
No.
Y'all niggas don't want to talk about that shit, but y'all want to talk about The Wire.
How do you spell Raleigh Hawkins' first name?
Raleigh common spelling. But guess what? This is how I think. I even look shameful on Philly. How the fuck do y'all have a statue of Rocky, a fictional boxer, but not one of you bitch ass motherfuckers there? And I'm talking to you, Philly. I love Philly, but this is one of the times I gotta call you out. You ain't got no fucking statue of fucking Smoking Joe Frazier.
What an injustice.
Yeah.
I always criticize Philly for that. Y'all had the fuck. How long did y'all have it on the city hall steps? Y'all had
Riley
Rocky,
Hawkins.
but y'all never had one of Smoking Joe Frazier. You ain't never had one of fucking Bernard Hopkins. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. You would rather
That's
idolize a fictional fucking character.
but you had a true heavyweight all time great. The only two losses, he had four losses. He only lost twice to two of the greatest heavyweights of all time. Literally one of the perfect boxers of all time, Ali, and one of the heaviest hitting, Frazier. That's it. Nobody else could beat him.
Damn.
But you rather give a fictional fucking character, a white boy, a statue.
Who didn't do nothing but fucking take other people's stories and turn it into a movie.
Exactly. Because we all know who Apollo Creed was.
I mean, let's be real.
You get the fuck out of here. Y'all want to talk about stolen valor? Y'all couldn't. How the fuck are you more famous for cheesesteaks than Smoking Joe Frazier?
Aye.
And that's my it. Oh my god, y'all gave me my next live stream.
Gold medalist and world champion, heavyweight champion Joe Frazier.
Beat
Smoking
the
Joe.
last, and this is how significant it was. Beat. There was only three guys to ever win the heavyweight championship undefeated at that time: Marciano, Ali, and Frazier.
He won gold medal in 1964 Summer Olympic Games. The
How
64
the
Summer
fuck?
Olympics.
How
That
the
was
fuck
in
do you not give Joe Frazier his props in Philly, one of the black enclaves ever?
Tokyo.
Yeah,
The Tokyo Olympics of 64. That's when he won them.
we had three back-to-back gold medalists: Ali, Frazier, and Foreman.
60, 64, 68 in Rome, Tokyo, and Mexico City, respectively.
Then you forgot that the Spinks brothers, I think they won gold too.
Let me look them up.
They did.
They didn't start fucking us out of fucking gold medals in boxing till when?
88.
88. Because that was when
They robbed Roy Jones.
Roy Jones, and then they robbed fucking Mayweather. Then they robbed Mayweather.
Yeah. Oh, 78. Leon Spinks won gold medal in the 76 Montreal Olympics at light heavyweight. Michael Spinks, let me look for him.
Michael Spinks was on the same team as Pernell Whitaker and Evander Holyfield.
And Pernell, oh, by the way, you want to talk about one of the boxing greats?
Oh, he won
Sweet
gold.
Pea?
He won gold in the same Olympics in middleweight. Sweet Pea.
Sweet Pea?
Pernell
Sweet Pea.
Whitaker.
Arguably the greatest Olympic boxing team ever assembled.
Exactly.
Spinks,
Sweet.
Whitaker, and Holyfield was on the same fucking Olympic team.
Oh,
Jesus.
both the
84
Spinks
Olympics in
brothers,
LA
both the Spinks brothers,
at lightweight.
Sweet Pea and Holyfield, and I think Holyfield got what? I think he got fucked out of a gold or a bronze.
Oh, let me check.
The last time we did great in boxing for
Yeah, he won
Olympics.
bronze in 84, light heavyweight.
Yep, that was a great team. The last, if it wasn't for Clarissa Shields, we would have won shit in boxing. And by the way, since we talk about Black history, Clarissa Shields is the only boxer, American boxer, to win 2 gold medals, male or female,
Back to back.
back to back. And I even talked to her on YouTube when she went live. And I told her, I've been following you since your first Olympic gold. She was like, for real, where you from? Baltimore, of course. She said, I got number love for B-More.
Shout out to
Shout
Pat
out,
Booth.
Beijing 2008 and then London 2012. That's when he
shout
won,
out. What
right?
you say? What you say, ABL?
Shout out to Pat Booth.
Exactly. He winning, isn't he? I dropped a chick who only had one hot track for a chick who's winning multiple titles in every weight class.
Sorry, London and then in Rio de Janeiro, 2012 and
Yep.
2016 at
Think
middleweight.
about it. By the way, I'm gonna say something that's controversial in this space. Why is the Clarissa Shields on the level of a Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, or fucking Floyd Mayweather with 2 gold medals? And she's undisputed in what, 2 or 3 weight classes?
Let me look up.
I'm sorry. I know this might be critical talking highly of black women. Why is the Clarissa
Undisputed middleweight
Shields?
twice.
Why is the Clarissa Shields? She's supposed to be going for heavyweight this week or next week.
She fighting tonight.
Yeah. Why is the Clarissa Shields touted as one of the greatest fighters of all time, as the same as the men? And there's not a bitch right now in boxing who could lace her boots.
Yeah.
I know. I'm speaking highly of a black woman for some of the people who only come to these channels only to shit on black women. No. ABM, Namer, and others will tell you we don't shit on black women for empty threats. We shit on black. We talk about the truth about black women. It's not my fault that everybody can't get a date. I'm sorry. Sometimes you do, as black men, you do have to do better.
Her professional record right now is 16-0 with 3 knockouts in boxing. In MMA, she's 2-1 right now.
Yeah. So you telling me she's one of the greatest combat athletes of all time? The only person
last MMA fight was last year. It was around
you
this
got to
time
think.
last year.
You got to think about it. The only female in modern history that I would say is the greatest female combat athlete of all time would be Amanda Nunes.
Lioness.
If actually, if you want to be serious, Holly Holmes should be touted as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, current combat sports female athlete of all time, because she's going to go to 3 different. Namer, ABM, you do know Holly Holmes is going to go to 3 Hall of Fames when it's all said and done, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's going to go to the UFC Hall of Fame.
Okay.
She's already in the Kickboxing Hall of Fame. She's already in the Boxing Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
She's in 3 different combat sports Hall of Fame. She will end up being probably the greatest.
In all three combat disciplines.
She will be in all 3 when it's all said and done, she will be in all 3 Hall of Fames. Name a male or female athlete who can say I'm in 3 different Hall of Fames in 3 different combat sports.
Not a goddamn one.
And she's won world titles in each.
She's won world titles in it, yeah.
I mean,
the UFC did her dirty though afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, because she knocked out the Golden Goose.
Well, they had to improve, man, because they were moving. The competition was surpassing her. She had to hand over the torch.
Well, Ronda Rousey deserves her Hall of Fame because she was the number 1 female combat athlete at the time. Yeah. What happens in combat sports, like any sports, the competition is going to move past you. Yeah. And one of the weakest links of Rousey is that she didn't have the hands that she thought. when you're going against a person who's a world champion kickboxer and boxer,
And southpaw at that.
and she's with one of the best teams in MMA history, which is the
Yes.
three teams I'll name. Number one is the Lions Den, number two is the Milicic camp, and number three is Jackson's camp. So
Jackson Winklejohn.
so when you think about it, she's training with fucking John Jones and all them boys. She's gonna learn how to grapple and negate your grappling. And when she kicked her in the head, she's still wrapping her leg. She's still peeling the fucking head kick off her head to this day.
She got concussed and everything.
She took her soul with that.
The first round was ugly. But you remember in the second round, like when she tried to lunge at, when she had her up against the cage and tried to lunge at her. And
She pretty much embarrassed her. I mean, Alicia Baumgartner, god damn, she fine as fuck too. Oh, she's great too. Don't get me wrong, but she's probably number 2 or 3 when it comes to female boxing. Is she better than Clarissa? No. Clarissa's been climbing up and down the weight class like a goddamn ladder. Clarissa's at a spot where she could. She's so advanced. Clarissa Shields is so advanced in boxing. She could do what the fuck she want to anybody.
And unlike a lot of these other female combat sports people, Clarissa is actually a draw.
Yeah, she's a draw.
Wouldn't want to mess with her.
She's a draw. And
she actually draws money.
Mm-hmm.
She draws money. See, this is the part where female sports don't want to admit certain shit. Look,
no, they don't.
if my person is pretty, let them be pretty. Let them be pretty.
Mm-hmm.
If you're pretty and you can draw money, I'm not mad at you.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
What they say about Ken Shamrock when he first went to the UFC? You got a hell of a movie career if you keep that face.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys, can you fellas hear me pretty clearly?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
I lost power, man. StreamYard is a beast. Woo, it sucked up all my shit.
But, you don't want to, hey Wolfman, you don't want to know the fights I have with StreamYard on an almost daily basis, man.
I believe it.
I run a show 5 days a week. I do my play-by-play, and and y'all have been a part of it. Everybody's been a part of it.
Yeah.
You don't want to know what my poor little computer goes through when I have to fight with StreamYard.
I'm like, oh wow. But I came back in when you were talking about Holly Holmes and Ronda Rousey. I actually saw that fight several years back.
You know,
I actually saw that fight because I'm not into hold on. I'm not into female MMA like that, but I watched that fight. I didn't realize how little defense Ronda Rousey had about herself. She can attack, she can kick, she can punch. I didn't realize until she fought Holly Holmes.
And Holly Holmes,
the lack of defense she had. Man, Holly Holmes blocked all her shit. I was like, whoa!
You gotta
she couldn't hit her. She couldn't hit her.
I don't know if you were here when I said it. Holly Holmes is in 2 Hall of Fames already.
Yep.
She's in the International Boxing Hall of Fame and Kickboxing Hall of Fame. She will be in the UFC Hall of Fame.
Yes.
If you try to, I'm a guy, and I don't want to stand toe to toe with Holly Holmes.
You wouldn't do it.
She's like, no, she's 5'8",
6 feet 5 inches tall. I definitely do not want to stand toe to toe with Holly Holmes.
Is she that tall?
No, she's 5'8".
She's 5'8", but her level is, you got to understand something.
Skill.
Her level of skill outclasses most men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything Ronda Rousey threw at her, she blocked all of it. I was like, wow.
Every move
I'm going to say this.
every move that Ronda Rousey made, can't talk tonight.
You've been drinking too.
She had a counter for it. Holly had
She had a counter for it. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this. Name her. ABM, Wolf, Snowman.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How many athletes can come to mind to say this motherfucker will be a Hall of Fame in 3 different sports?
Can't
I would
think
not
of
have
it.
thought that of her. No.
Can't think of any.
She's already in the boxing, kickboxing, and she will be a UFC Hall of Famer.
Easy.
That tells you how great of an athlete she is.
Yeah. Is she fully retired or what?
I think she's still fighting. She might retire close soon because I think she's about my
she's
age.
almost 40. Yeah, right. Yeah.
So you're telling me
you wouldn't think it with the way that she fights, though.
you wouldn't. But you got to think about it. How many men can say I'm a Hall of Famer in 2 sports? The only guy I could think of who being a Hall of Famer in 2 sports. There's only two to 3 guys I could think of. Only 2 guys.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm looking up her stats. First of all, she was born October 17th, 1981, so she's 43.
Yeah.
5'8", 135 pounds, with a 70-inch reach.
That's pretty long for a female.
That's not bad for a woman. Yeah.
She'll reach me. Not messing with her.
Let me put it to you this way, right? The only 2 guys I could think of being in 2 Hall of Fames: Randy Couture for American Olympic Wrestling. He was an Olympic alternate twice. He'd been on the world team. 6-time UFC champion. What's the dude? Triple C.
Canelo.
Not Canelo.
Not Canelo. Okay.
Triple C.
MMA.
MMA. He won a gold medal in wrestling, and he's also a 2-division UFC champion. That's the only 2 motherfuckers I could see legitimately being in 2. She's gonna be in 3.
3 of them.
That's amazing.
You gotta be one of the. What's his name? Somebody in the chat, please. My brain is going past me.
I'm looking up. I'm looking up Dimitri.
Hey, Wolfman, I put a question to you in the back chat, sir.
I gotta find it. Hold on.
I know you've had a
Henry
recent
Cejudo.
fight with technology, as have I. I understand.
Yeah. Charles?
Let me see.
Charles?
Comments. Okay.
Charles?
I found out the name. It's Henry Cejudo.
The Messenger, aka Triple C.
Olympic gold medalist. Matter of fact, Triple C is
Wolfman, are you available?
I've been trying to. I didn't realize, Wolf, you had lost power.
I did, yeah. Yeah,
I'll put it to you this way. This is how good Triple C was. Triple C is the youngest. I think he still holds the record. No. The chick who just won the Olympics, she holds the record. I think she's 20. Triple C won an Olympic gold medalist without going to college.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Henry, the Messenger,
the gold medal in the under 55 kilos.
I do need some help from you fellas because I'm not the most. I know a little bit. I'm not the most technologically inclined dude. How do I show you guys something off of YouTube? It's appropriate. It's very appropriate.
Here in StreamYard.
I'm sorry. StreamYard cut me off for a second. Triple C won Olympic.
Here's what you do, Wolfbane. You hit present, and I also think you're going to hit share screen. And when you do that, they'll queue up in the back what screen you want to share. You have to point it to the right tab.
Oh, that might be an issue. Hold on.
I'm gonna say this in case I cut out. Triple C was so good that he won an Olympic gold medalist without going to college. That's like going to the NFL without going to college.
When were you in college? 02?
Who, me?
No, yeah, Charles, yeah.
I didn't finish college, so when
No,
I
I
went to
didn't. No, I
college,
didn't either. I'm just saying, I
it was
was
like
in college
I
in
started.
'91.
I started in '01, but I didn't wrestle there. I wrestled overseas though. I got a bronze medal over there. If I was
Okay.
smart, I would have tried to get my family if they actually. My mother and father believed in me because that's how I got the bronze medal in Germany. The rest of the family to send me to camps and to fund my. If my family was on one accord, I probably would have got an Olympic medal.
Okay.
And
Understood.
I'm not shitting on you, but I was at one point I was that good. Um, and I'm not one of those people. I'm willing to tell you if I was that good or
Fragile
not.
time. Yeah.
If at one point in time I was that good, where if I would have had the sponsors they get now,
Yeah.
I would have got an Olympic medal or two. I definitely would have got a world championship,
Mhm,
maybe a silver, maybe a bronze. I'd definitely been on a couple of
mhm.
world teams.
Yeah.
If all I had to do was just train and not worry about work,
Right.
if if I if I'm not shitting it because one of my claim to fames is being an Iraq War veteran,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and people around the base was like, "Oh, you're a good wrestler, huh? Let me see." And you put them on their back in 30 seconds. Oh, you're good. And I'm like I remember dudes wanted to fight in the barracks, and I'm hitting this dude with a crossbody rod and choking him the fuck out. I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to fight you, but if I
Right.
need to, I kill you. And if I would have had, I'm not knocking the younger generations because everybody knows, just like the civil rights, generation, you're supposed to be better. You got more opportunity.
Exactly.
Um, if we would have had the opportunities then, if we would have had YouTube for one, um,
Yeah.
do you know how many of my matches I could have put to YouTube and y'all would have seen? Let me put it to you this way, and I'm gonna put this challenge to Snowman
I'm listening.
since he's a sports guy. Go ask
Hmm.
any of your friends who know anything about scholastic and collegiate wrestling. Ask them how many guys they see at 170 hitting switches and duckouts.
I will do the research.
And when you find out how rare that is for somebody in that weight class, you'll be like, oh. And you're talking about a guy who could do it on either side of his body. I had people lift me off my feet and I would do it in midair. Switch.
Hmm.
I get it.
And
I
and and, and I'm not docking it, I'm not ruining it. I might even
right.
I'm old enough to go to the masters. Hell, one of my Facebook friends, he was 50, 58, 60 years old, and he won the national masters in judo.
Unbelievable. I love it.
And he also has a PhD in psychology, and he also has a JD in law.
You know what's funny?
And guess what? Guess what
Uh,
race he is since it's February. I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. And he also just got his second or third degree black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's like a 6th-degree black belt in judo. Why don't we put a guy? Think about that. Why don't I'm gonna try my best to get a interview with him
You
because
get
I
it.
think
Now you get it, and I'll carry it.
I'm gonna try to get you on there.
You get it,
Think
and
of how
you get it, and I'll carry it.
I want to ask all the guys, Namer, ABM, Wolf, Snowman, how legendary is that to find a black man who has a PhD in psychology, a JD in law, and he's a national champion in judo?
Pretty damn rare. Pretty
Where
damn
would you rank that guy in Black history? Where would you rank him?
near the top of the mountain.
I want everybody to answer in the chat and the panel.
I mean, it's unheard of. It's unprecedented.
It is. It is unheard
And
of.
he was also the trainer and the agent of 2 world champion boxers.
I'd say that's a pretty full life, and he's
Would
still
you
going.
not put him on a flashcard teaching your kids and your grandkids of Black history about the guy?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They never in grammar school. They didn't really teach us Black history. I mean, they skimmed it, but they didn't detail it. I'm a detail.
Imagine
They
what you
taught
could.
trivia. He
Yeah.
didn't teach history.
Yeah,
Imagine
thank
if
you,
you
thank
taught
you.
a
Yeah, you were
guy,
slaves, and then something about Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King, and
And that's
then
exactly
Jackie
how
Robinson. It was weird back in school.
that's exactly how it
and
was kindergarten all the way through high school.
imagine if I could take your kids and sit them down and talk to this guy who's still living. Well, I want to be an athlete. Well, I don't want to do college. A JD and a PhD means he's a double doctorate,
Uh-huh.
right?
Which is what my wife is shooting for. Shout to my Dr.
How
K.
many black men do we know that are double doctorates?
Not many.
And he's a fucking national judo champion 2 years running. I had to tell the dude. I nicknamed him the judo man because I was so in awe about him.
Yeah.
If I was in person with him, I would bow down to him every time he steps in my presence.
I would too.
We are not worthy. We are not fucking worthy. Like you are. If I could get the interview with him, I would tell him. Of course, I wouldn't curse because out of respect for him, but
Right.
in my mind, I would say you're a fucking Black History moment that kids can look to right now and speak to. We don't even. Do you know how many black kids right now don't know who Billie Holiday is or Reginald F. Lewis is
Right.
in Baltimore? I had rookie officers when we went to the hotel building, the high rise up there on Greenmount and 25th with
Yeah.
that big mural of Billie Holiday. And I said, "Do you know who that is?" They're like, "No." Where are you from? I'm from Baltimore. You don't know who Billie Holiday is?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's such a fucking shame, but I keep forgetting. This is a damn shame, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm 40. I'm 42, and when, of course, I left the department before I was 40.
Yeah. And I remember the day you left.
It was funny how some of their parents were younger than me, and they're 21. So that tells you something right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And because their parents had them at 15, 16, this is the criminality of being so young, having children.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck can you teach your kids?
Not a damn thing.
You can't even teach them, okay, this is the history we have in Baltimore. I live on Valley Street. I could literally walk 2 blocks from where I used to live, and I'm right there where John Wilkes Booth's buried. That's American history.
It is. It
I
is,
can
man.
walk
It is.
I could walk down the street. Me and my ex-girlfriend when she lived with me. We used to walk to Afram. Y'all don't a lot of people don't even know who Poncho is in Baltimore. And that's my wrestling coach's son, and he's one of the most famous black painters in modern America. His painting's been on different shows like The Wire.
And yet no one is wanting
And
to
that's and
teach
to me, a
about it.
lot of people be like, "Oh man, I love this guy. That's Poncho." To me, that's Big Bro. Like when I tell y'all about the time when I was thrown so fucking hard
Uh-huh.
that the capillaries in my mouth burst, that was Poncho because he had a black belt in Aikido and he could wrestle because of his dad, Larry Brown. He's actually Larry Brown Jr. His real name, Larry O'Neill Brown Jr. And that was the hardest I've ever been thrown in my life where I bled through my lip with no open cuts. That was like
Damn.
when when the iron tastes in your mouth, where it tastes like peanut butter and jelly, and you didn't eat shit all day. That's
Yeah,
how hard he threw me. And this is a guy who's one of the most prominent black artists in modern day. The history of Baltimore alone, and this is one of the last chocolate cities, by the way.
yes, it is.
And it's like I'm spoiled. ABM will tell you we're spoiled by how many fucking talented people we walk across and never know.
I get it. I get. Man, listen, I'm about to make history this coming Sunday when I become the third black man to call 2 Super Bowls. Because I called the one last year. Y'all were with me riding
Yeah,
shotgun, and I'm going to
yeah.
do it again this year.
I
And
can't.
and motherfuckers are so nearsighted. They say, "Well, you're not doing it for a big network." Yes, the fuck I am. I'm doing it for my own network. Damn it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I understand
Alternative
what you
media
mean.
is the
Yeah.
20. Alternative media is the 21st century.
I'm gonna tell you where are all your famous. Remember, Roland Martin used to work for what network?
CNN.
And what? How many subscribers does he have now?
Almost a million.
How many fucking subscribers does Ocho Cinco and Shannon Sharp have?
I don't know.
Same amount.
And you're talking about he did 13 million off of what? I mean,
Uh,
he's still
the comedian. What's his name?
um Money
Cat
That
Mike,
one
Williams.
show.
Cat
Cat
Williams.
Williams. Yeah.
Cat
People are
Williams.
still watching that. Yeah.
He's still making money off of that shit, dude.
And will
Yep.
be for a
Yep.
lifetime.
He's not
Yep.
even he's not even spending the checks he done off everybody else.
Nope.
Yeah. Keep in
That
mind, he
Cat
already had
Williams,
money before he
He's
started
letting
his podcast.
he's letting those sit.
he's letting
Mm-hmm.
those checks sit. So you telling me, and shout out to Cat Williams because did anything Cat Williams was a lie?
Hell no.
Notice not one motherfucking challenge Cat Williams when he said what he said.
They were mad at him, but they
They
didn't
were mad
challenge
at
on what he said. Yeah. They were
exactly.
mad at him. Yeah.
They were pissed off at him, but they couldn't refute him.
Yeah.
They could
Hmm.
not refute him.
That's
That's a good
true black.
observation.
But by the way, that's true black media. Oops, who
It
said
is.
that? When they can be mad at you, but what the fuck can you do? What did
Mhm.
Biggie say? Give me the loot. Yeah, tell Biggie. Tell Biggie did it. What the fuck he gonna do? What you gonna do to
Mhm.
me? That's the part about. I used to be so mad. I averaged 150 to 200 live subscribers with 2,000 fucking subscribers. My
Yeah.
biggest show to date was Kevin Samuel Salute. I had all BGS, Angry Man. I had what's that?
You had the all-star
Nicole
cast.
Michelle.
Yep.
I had what's the one dude? It's therapeutic man, Black Ram. I had
Yeah.
everybody. I
Yeah.
had
Mhm.
almost 900 people live.
You had the all-star cast. That was an all-star cast
You
for
know
you.
what that proves to me? Even if I don't average that ever again, and you could go back and people think, oh, you lying, Charles. Nigga, go to my fucking channel, go to see what my most popular fucking show was, and it's a salute to Kevin Samuels when he
I
passed.
saw a part of it while living in North Carolina.
And
Oh,
and that will tell you.
oh,
And the beautiful thing about it is that lets you know how talented our space can be
Hmm.
and is.
mhm.
That
And will continue to
even
be.
when we don't have the subscribers, my biggest short right now almost have 1 million views. My second biggest has 500,000 views. You telling me
Mhm.
that's not talent?
Mhm.
People can say
Bullshit.
what they want,
If
but
you
at the
learn
end of the day,
anything from Charles L. Faulkner Jr. this year in 2025 during Black History, don't let anybody fucking stop you and tell you you don't matter. Because baby, we matter. Look what the fuck we did in 4 years when it came to a presidential election.
yep,
All we did was show receipts. Am I lying or am I telling the truth?
you're telling the straight up truth. And you know something, Charles? I will borrow a question you often ask, and I'll ask this question to the people who continually will come after us. What consequence are of you to me?
Oh, I love that. I tell
What
everybody,
consequence?
I tell everybody this, right?
Mhm.
If you're feeling down about yourself, not confident,
Mm-hmm.
everybody remembers the 80s Master of the Universe live action movie with Dolph Lundgren.
Of
Yes.
course. Yeah.
Go to
Yeah.
Skeletor's speech, which was so deep, but I forget what his name,
Oh, the
um,
actor. Yeah.
the
Oh,
actor
I
who played
forgot to.
Skeletor.
Frank Langella.
Frank Langella, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Frank Langella played the fuck out of that role. He stole the show. God
Yeah.
damn, that motherfucker needs
Yeah,
They
it.
he
say he's
did.
pretty much the only reason to watch it. By the way, that's what
Pretty
people
much,
say.
but pretty
Yeah.
much. But that speech with Skeletor, that's where
He,
I stole it from.
and he said
When he looked
Skeletor
at
was
He
his favorite
Man,
role.
he said he loved it because his kid was a Master of the Universe fan and he get to be involved in it.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's how black men in 2025 should be. And if you're my Facebook friend or Twitter friend or Instagram or YouTube, guess what I'm gonna put up tomorrow? 2025. My motto is, what consequence are you to me?
Period.
Hmm.
Damn.
Period.
What the fuck do you say to a nigga when he says, what consequence are you to me? What should
Very.
I fear?
That's cold blooded, but plain and simple at the same time.
It's plain and
That's
simple
that's
fact is what
Yeah.
it is.
some people.
But
I'm gonna
but
start quoting
cold.
Bible verses that are so cold.
Hmm.
But
One of
that
the
question
coldest,
right there is the
one of the
coldest thing you can say to somebody.
one of the
Man,
coldest Bible verses ever that people don't realize how cold it
yeah. Hmm.
is this. Though I walk in the shadow of the valley of death, what's the other the part that makes it so cold?
I shall fear no evil.
I should. Yeah.
That is how cold of a motherfucker you gotta be to say, I'm walking where death is abundant, and to say what?
Hmm.
I fear no evil.
You gotta have balls the size of watermelons. See,
I walked that walk for
I
three
shall fear
years.
no evil. Yeah, that's
Listen,
right.
how do
and
you come up there and say, nigga, I battled giants? I battled the forces of evil.
Mhm.
I
What
The
battled the
consequence
Nephilim.
are
biggest.
you to me?
I battled the biggest evil of all, stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and I kicked
Big
that
Talk
C.
your
motherfucker in
shit.
ass.
Talk your shit.
I am not supposed to be here, okay? Because the folks at Duke University Cancer Center, and y'all better hit us some man up with some cash apps for this story, because I'm gonna share it in the raw. When I got
Hmm.
diagnosed, when it all started with blood clots in both my lungs, got that taken care of. A month later, 2 days before my birthday's July 21st, 2021, July 19th, we got we got what was supposed to be the death warrant. Mr. Snow, you have cancer.
Mm.
We did everything we were supposed to do. Change my diet. I started walking more, but I didn't realize how much the cancer was eating my body because I kept getting tired.
Hmm.
And then on top of that, we had to move back to Indiana because we got screwed out of our own home in North Carolina. COVID, anybody? I was not physically able to work because my body was wearing down. And we had to move back here to Indiana, which we did. Moved in with our in-laws for a little while,
Hmm.
and we had a trip back to North Carolina in November of 2021. Wife and I saw it as a getaway. We're like, man, get me the fuck out of Indiana for a couple days. Drove down to Raleigh, North Carolina, crashed there, drove over to Durham, and that's when we got the word. The doctor looked my wife in the eyes and said, there is nothing we can do.
Mm.
Looked my wife in the eyes and said, there's nothing we can do. I went still. I was in shock because here I thought we were in the most prominent cancer center in the country. What's the first place people think of when they think of cancer treatments? Duke University, Durham, North Carolina. Man, they told us that, and we drove home. Both of us were crying. My wife told me, I'm going to find a job. I'm going to get us some insurance, and we're going to fight this shit. You may be tired, but I'm not. If I got to wear myself out to keep you here, I'll wear myself out to keep you here. Let me say that again for those of us in the cheap seats at Old Comiskey Park. My wife looked me in the eye and said to me,
I like
if
that.
I got to wear my ass out to keep you here, I'm going to wear my ass out to keep you here because you promised me a 50-year celebration. Well, damn it, I'm on the way to it. Come March of 22, I met my oncologist. He made a phone call to the fellow who would save my life, Dr. Attila Nakib, who is now retired in Boston. Looked him in the eye when he pulled out a paper towel and started drawing organs and stuff, what they're supposed. I looked him in the eye and said, can you get this thing or not? He looked me back in the eye and said, we'll get this motherfucker. April 4th, 2022, the night of the national championship between Kansas and North Carolina. I was under the knife.
Wow.
Here I am today.
Still here.
Almost 3 years later. Here is the best part of this. The best part of it was this. When we back in for an exam in February of 23, my wife looked at my oncologist and said we were going to wait until our anniversary date, which is April 4th, to find out if we're in remission. His next sentence sent us dancing out of the office when he said the remission has already begun.
My man.
Here I am about to be 53 in July, and I wasn't given a shot in hell in November of 21.
Yeah. And you said this before, Snowman, and I'm going to say it again. You are supposed to be here. You said that before. I'm not supposed to be here. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Okay? We're talking to you. So you were supposed to be here.
It's the racist medical system in this country. That's all that shit was.
Let me put this in the chat here. That's why I have this going, so I can go around the country, see all the stadiums I can, and talk to people that are going through a lot of shit. Not just physical, not just mental. I mean, a little of both, because anybody that's been through cancer, has a story to tell. Cancer is the one thing that took both my parents. It took my dad in 2007. 14 years later, it took my mom. And this is and I lost my mom at 2 months after I had been diagnosed.
Yeah, it took my mom too. No, I feel you. It took my mom too. My dad is still here. We don't get along, but
I'm glad your dad is still here.
It took my mom though.
I miss my dad so badly. People who don't have their dad here, and unfortunately I'm one of them, some days it's like you just want to reach out to dad and go, help.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you. And the other part of it is this. I not only lost my dad, I also lost my child. My firstborn, Donna. She was 2 when she passed away. You know how many black men that would break?
It's devastating.
You know how many black men that nearly broke me? And at the time, I was going through an abusive relationship. That nearly broke me. I'm here.
Dude, man, hey, black men have the stuff to stick it out. I think we might be the most egalitarian men on the planet. We're also the mentally or the psychologically strongest. That's my personal opinion.
The most physical, the most mental.
Yep.
The most emotional. and the most spiritual strongest.
Yep.
Why
Because
do
it
you
can
think
all
I?
test you. You can get tested in all of those fronts in one
Yep.
day.
Yep.
Why do
One.
you
Wait.
think?
Wait. No. Say that again. You can get tested on
You
all
can
those
get
fronts
tested on all of those fronts in one
in
day.
one
Fuck that.
goddamn day.
Fuck that.
I'm glad you
And one
said that.
in one goddamn hour.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Why do you think I tell black men? Once again, I want everybody in the motherfucking chat and the motherfucking panel to say this shit.
Yeah.
Though I walk in the shadow of the valley of death, I shall do
I shall
what?
fear
I shall
no
fear
evil.
No. We're
no.
gonna do this better. Black people
Okay.
can know me for their singing. Though I walk in the shadow of the valley of death itself, I shall do what?
I
Fear,
shall fear
fear,
no
no
evil.
evil.
Mm,
I've survived the crack epidemic of the 80s.
Same.
mm,
I've
mm.
survived the violence of the 90s.
Yep.
I've survived the Iraq war of the 2000s. I've survived nearly 2 decades of being a cop in Baltimore.
Mhm.
What consequence is another motherfucker to me?
Right, yeah, right.
I
I
want you.
like the way you wait. I like the way you full circle. You did a full
I want.
circle. Yeah.
I want. I'm. Even when I'm going through my worst day,
Yeah.
I've always paid homage to somebody else going through something a little bit worse, if not
Yeah.
a whole lot worse. And I tell them, if you can survive cancer, if you can survive
Mhm.
divorce, if you can survive losing children, if you can survive losing marriages, losing houses, losing cars, losing
Yep.
careers, what
Yep.
fucking consequence are them to you?
I
Mhm.
survived a horrible first marriage when the woman kept saying to me, I can do bad all by myself.
I was a black woman.
Any black man who has been you're right, Wolf. It was a black woman who looked
Yeah,
me in
because
the
they're the
eye.
only ones who say that. Yeah.
She looked me in the eye repeatedly while I was getting started in broadcasting, repeatedly, and told me that.
Yeah.
So this black man packed a short duffel bag and on Christmas Eve in 1998
Got
walked
up out of there.
the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Walked
they're
the
the only ones that
fuck
talk
out.
like that, man, and it breaks my heart.
It breaks
But
mine too,
I've
but
never heard those words come from
nor have I.
any other group of women. What can I say? Because I
Nor
live
have
around. I'm in a somewhat mixed neighborhood. It's black, Latino, and a little bit white. There's some downtrodden. Because I'm in the hood, so there's
yeah,
some downtrodden white folk over here. Dude, don't nobody talk like that. But
but black women.
the black ladies, man. I have to admit it breaks my heart, man. It does.
It's just something that it breaks my heart, but it also allows me to see the light to where
Yeah.
I need it to go.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah.
Because had I not gone through the shit that I've been through, a horrible marriage, 3 bouts of homelessness between Minnesota, Chicago, Ohio, and here in Indiana, an abusive
Hmm.
relationship, having a child, losing a child twice,
Yeah.
once to adoption and once to death, an
Hmm.
abusive relationship that came on the heels, of me losing my child.
Hmm.
Not to mention the bitch stole $1,000 from me in the form of a sponsor that she claimed she got from my company, but the bitch forged my goddamn signature,
Hmm.
which put
I'm
my
sorry to hear that, man.
which put almost every bit of my 2016 baseball broadcast season in peril.
On the front line. Yeah. Yeah.
I was on the brink of destruction.
Man. Did you ever get that 1,000 back?
Nope.
Or you had to chalk it
Nope.
up as a loss?
I chalked it up as a loss and went on about my business.
Yeah, you had to. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. You had to. I'm trying to cheer us up, man. But again, I'm not very technologically inclined. Stream this to your audience. Is that what I need to hit to show something?
If you want to stream it to your audience, yes.
Okay, I don't have a YouTube channel though. Will this go to Charles's channel?
If you don't have a channel, then you can't.
Well, everybody has a channel if you have a if you have a moniker, if you're on YouTube. So technically, everybody does have a channel, but
yeah,
because you said something about hit present, but I don't see where it says present.
No. Bottom row where you want to you wanted to bring up a clip.
Yeah, it's real quick. Settings or what do I need to do?
Hit present. Hit present.
Where is present, Snowman?
Bottom of the screen.
Hold on. So do I go to more or chat or what?
No.
Because it doesn't say present.
Or are you using the screen?
Wait, say it again.
Are you using a phone or are you using a screen?
I'm on a phone. I'm not on a computer, no.
That explains a lot.
I can't do it on a phone?
You can do it on your phone. It's just going to be tough to do.
Oh, okay.
It's just going to be tough to navigate because you're going from one tab with StreamYard to another tab.
And it might drop me off. Yeah. That's what happened earlier. The second time I fell off, that's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Blood boiling. Did that woman suffer a horrible fate after you left? Let me answer this honestly. Yes. Because she was miserable.
Mm-hmm.
She was flat out miserable. Here's the kicker. The woman that put me through an abusive relationship kept trying to get a hold of me, especially ... after I got married.
Yeah, that's called the reach back.
Like
that's called that's called hey big head. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
A shout to Accountable Commentary for that term, the reach back.
Mm-hmm. And shout out to Kevin Samuels for hey big head. Yeah.
Yep. Because that was every part of that. When Miss Dials got a hold of me, blocked her ass, and left.
Yeah.
In a minute.
When people are poisonous in your life, man, you gotta zip your lip and do a 180-degree turn and get up out of there. Man, it took me a while to learn that. You know where I learned how to do that better? Fucking with the Black Manosphere.
Mm-hmm. You better
fucking with you guys.
You better run out of there faster than Roger Craig through that Ram defense.
Yeah.
Or let me put it another way. From my hometown, you better run away from there faster than Walter Payton around the defense.
Yeah. Get up out of there, man.
That's my story.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a nerd all my life. Still a nerd.
Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I got some nerd and some street in me, man.
I just gotta remind you folks. I just gotta remind you folks this, in case you ever forget. Though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death, I shall do what?
Fear no evil.
So, what's the next thing that you tell a person? What consequence are you to me?
Are you to me? Exactly.
Yeah.
You are no consequence to me.
What consequence do you hold over my head?
Do you know? They don't know. You know what, Charles? Snowman, a lot of people, hell, if not most people, they don't know what to do with that. They don't know what to do with that. What consequence are you to me? After what I've been through.
Let me make a correction. It's not that they don't know what to do with it. It's the fact that they won't know what to do with it.
Okay. I like that too.
That. When you tell another human being who wishes you nothing but hell and destruction, what the hell can you do to a person who says, and what consequence are you to me?
You can't do anything. You cannot do anything.
I don't care if you're religious, atheist. I don't care if you're Buddhist, Islamic, Christian, Catholic.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're a Hindu. When you tell another human being, hell, when you tell an animal,
Mhm.
even animals know there's lions and tigers that will look you in the eye. And they said, oh, that motherfucker willing to go to the death. I don't feel like doing that today. And what will
Mhm.
an animal do when they, what will, I would ask everybody on the panel, what will an animal do? And shout out to what is that, Bean? I'm gonna butcher that name. I've been drinking. Thank you for the shout out to the shout out to the English. I want you to think about this. What does that do to an animal when they can actually read your emotions? That what consequence are you to me?
They turn and they walk away.
What's the
Mhm.
story of Daniel? He was in the lion's den and he was chilling with the homies.
Yep,
Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
you would be right.
What happened when they sent him to the lions?
A damn thing. It's like I've already been.
What's the first? Though I may lie down in green pasture, right? What? A lot of y'all don't even know half the bad stuff that I had to go take my car to the mechanic for an alternator starter and an axle. And I still brought a stream to make other people happy. I'm
Same here.
good. I'm good.
Same
Mhm.
here.
I'm
I
good.
I
I
had
thank everybody. You know what's funny? I thank everybody the same way I do in wrestling. I never went to wrestling thinking I was going to be a champion. I just wanted to try the sport and be decent in it. My first year, I lost the first match, and I was winning 4-0. But guess what? I was the dark horse. Y'all know what a dark horse is, right? What's a dark
Yeah.
horse, though, man?
Underdog. Come
an
out of nowhere.
underdog
Yeah. Mhm.
Out of
out of the
nowhere,
blue.
underdog.
Out of
I-
nowhere underdog.
And I
Mhm.
won the championship. You know, people thought that was a fluke. They were like, that's cool, but that was a fluke. So you know what I did to challenge myself even further? I went up a weight class, 11 pounds heavier. That is hard for a lot of people to do, to go
It
against
is.
bigger,
Yeah.
stronger guys.
Yeah.
And I won the championship there.
Yeah.
I won the McDonough tournament. Ask ABM how elite McDonough is athletically.
Mhm.
It's like a few of the
I
basketball
won their private
championships
school
back home
tournament. And you got to
Mhm.
think, in 4 matches, only 2 points were scored against me.
in 4 matches.
Before that, the summer of that, I went to Germany. 6 matches. I won six, 5 out of 6, and got a bronze medal. I'm the
That's
ultimate
dope.
underdog.
Where's your bronze medal, Charles? Where is it right now?
Somewhere around here.
No, come on. It's supposed to be hanging up on the wall, man.
Well, the other trophies are downstairs. I gotta get them repaired. You gotta think them trophies are like 20, almost 30 years old.
30 years
I
old.
gotta
Oh,
get them
yeah,
fixed.
yeah.
So, but guess what? I don't put the trophies up for what I remember because people remember me. Even
Mhm.
and it's funny. I put them up for other people to say if this nobody was great, you can accomplish more.
You can
What did
accomplish
Jesus
anything.
always say to the disciples? Greater is within you, right? He
Mhm.
always said, greater, you're going to do greater things in my name than what I've done. if
I
I
want to
if I
play.
raise the dead, you're going to raise more than that.
I want to play for y'all one of my favorite home run calls from 2021 when I was in North Carolina. This is for a junior college. Lewisburg College was down 6-0, and then 7-1, and then 7-4. And there were nobody out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Charles, if you'll play it for me, please.
Hell no. I got you.
Yeah.
Second,
Oh, I can do the same thing, but go ahead.
nobody out. The pitch. Swinging a
Where's
drive
this
into deep
phone?
center
Yeah,
field.
phone.
Miller back at the track, looking up. See you later!
Oh, that's classic.
Home run.
Borrow
The
that
Mad
ball.
Dog has done it.
That's a
We
grand
are
slam, baby.
tied at 7, and nobody out. Attaboy, Mad Dog.
Here it is
Oh,
again
he
from
was
the top. Now, like I said, to set this up, we were down 6-0, and this was the first series I ever called for Lewisburg. They said, "Yeah, come on down. You can call games for us." The athletic director was in the booth when this happened.
Barber at second, Galinsky at first, nobody out. The pitch. Swinging a drive into deep center field. Miller back at the track, looking up. See you later!
Boy, that's shit that you make legends out of.
Is it high school or college, Snowman?
Junior college.
Okay.
College.
Junior
Boy,
college.
I bet you they still talk about that play to this day.
To this moment.
Wait.
That's what you make legacy out of. That's a legend. I bet you he's a legend on his team.
You know what? He never had a nickname until I gave him that one.
Yeah.
Noah Madison never
What'd you give him?
Say again?
What nickname did you give him?
The Mad Dog.
Mr. Faulkner, can you do me a favor? Because again,
Yes,
I'm gonna kick myself out if I try to use my phone. It's a YouTube short. Can you look up countries as dog villains? YouTube shorts and play it for us. I guarantee you'll be entertained.
well, I'm on my. I seen that shit, but I'm on my phone. It's funny.
Oh, okay. Damn, everybody's on their phone.
It's funny because
I got one for Wolf.
I tell people this.
Yeah.
You never know who you inspire just being you.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I guess if BGS is the master teacher, I guess I'm the master enabler.
You're the master motivator.
Yeah, I was gonna say not enabler. No, that's the wrong word, man.
You're the master
I wouldn't
motivator.
call you an enabler. No, not at all.
Because one of the most touching things I ever had when BGS forwarded an email, because the guy didn't have my email, this guy was going to self-delete. So he got on the stream with me and BGS, and I told him, I didn't call him. And I said, what you need to do to get off your feet, you need to get back on your feet, you need to get off your ass. And I said, you need to stop feeling sorry for yourself. You need to look at what's going on in your life, have your moment with it, and say, fuck you. You're not going to define me. I'm going to define my fucking self. And that man went back to college and got his bachelor's, and now he got his master's in nursing.
Oh, check that out.
That's what I'm speaking to him. That's the shit you never hear our detractors talk about.
No, you won't.
How many young men do we motivate? How many men, period, do we motivate? That shit brought me to tears when I read that email. And he admitted I was gonna lose it all.
Somehow he discovered the black manosphere and he bumped into you and BGS. Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
What did they say? God don't put you where you want it. He put you where you need it.
Put you where you need it.
Like,
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna let y'all hear the voice that motivated me to get into broadcasting. Living in Chicago, I tuned into a Bulls game in '85.
Oh, Johnny. I know it's Johnny. You can't lie to me.
Into the front court, right corner.
That is Jim Durham.
Oh, Jim Durham. Okay. I thought you were gonna not Johnny. I thought you were gonna say Red Curve.
No, I love Red Curve, but the play-by-play voice is Jim Durham.
Okay.
Underrated legend.
Yeah, I know who that is. Yeah. Look at Mike. Like, oh no.
Let me see if I can fast forward this to the end of it.
Michael Jordan getting ready. The second attempt on the way. That's in. The Bulls lead by 2. Cotton Fitzsimmons burns his final timeout. We'll be back in Phoenix after these messages on the Bulls Network. No timeouts left, remember. 110-108 Bulls. Here we go. 7 seconds left. Marley looks on the bounce into Kevin Johnson. Johnson against Jordan. Down the lane to the right. Michael steals the ball. 3 seconds. Game time. Game time. Michael.
Those are the two reasons I got into broadcasting. Listen to the voice of Jim Durham and Johnny Red Kerr.
Yeah, that's dope. Because you're playing basketball, I gotta ask, Snowman, what do you think about the Dunkett JD trade? KD. What do you think?
Who?
Wait, the Dunkett
the dumbass AD trade?
And AD, I said KD. Yeah, I mean AD. Yeah, not Kevin Durant. Anthony Davis. What do you think?
I'll give you my exact thoughts on it. Fuck them both.
Both players?
Fuck them both.
Wow.
Luka's lazy as hell. Anthony's Mr. Glass, and they both have expiring contracts within 2 years.
He does get hurt a lot. You're right about that. Yeah.
Fuck him. Fuck him.
Damn. I haven't heard anything from LeBron's son. What's Bronny doing? Does he even play?
Jack and shit.
He's still in a fucking spot somebody else could have had.
Look, wait. Angry black man ain't said nothing in an hour. And then, as soon as I said that, he was like, he's standing on the square.
Listen, I agree because
he chimed in. He heard that.
Bronny has no business being in the NBA right now.
He came too early. He came way too early. You're right. No, I agree.
And shout out to I'm gonna say JV because I'm not gonna use your full name. We're gonna give you this salute for the Cash App. Woo!
Is that your favorite black woman, Charles?
I'm not gonna say it's my favorite, but we will play that again. You'll see why she's my favorite.
Yeah, I know who that is. Yeah.
Thank God for life and thank God for Bria Miles.
Bria Miles, yes. Influencer. Hey y'all. It's late. It's Chicago time. It's late. I'm about to get up out of here. But look, I want to tack on something to what Charles said about although I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall feel no evil. Look, man. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled is convincing the world he didn't exist. But the greatest act of faith God ever pulled was convincing the world he did exist.
It exists.
How about that to go out on?
This is the second greatest trick the devil played, convincing that you never had any value.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah,
and the second greatest gift that you were given is once you realize you had all the value.
Yeah,
you had it all along. You just had to tap into the bark of your soul. Yeah.
Hey Wolf, did you leave a question in the back chat?
The chime thing. Look, man, I got to get up with you another time on that. You know, because I'm trying to do everything right now. I'm trying to do chime. I'm trying to do Cash App. And I'm trying to do PayPal. You know, I don't have any of that stuff. All I can do is super chat people.
I got PayPal. Cash App.
I don't have any of that stuff. I gotta wait for these cards to come in the mail and all this old dumb shit. You know, but I'm gonna get on that, man. I am. I'm working on it. I am. Hey, look, you fellas stay up. SYSBM.
It's late/early in Baltimore time.
It's late here. And
it's late. Yep. Peace out.
Thank you all who listened to this unscheduled live stream. Thank you for being entertained. Thank you for listening to whatever I had to say and what my guests had to say. Love you all, but we out.